Bama be on upset alert, and every single talking hairdo said no. And then they just got their ass whooped. I mean, there was Alabama didn't. You want to talk about a hot seat and you want to talk about Saban coming back? Saban, if he comes back, it will be at Alabama, and it would be starting kind of like a Duke Snyder thing, kind of whatever. Like, that's the only way I see Saban coming back is if he comes back to Alabama.
They're already looking at the buyout for DeBoer. How about that? There's plenty of websites have this sort of information. They're already starting to look at it. $58.75 million if they were to get rid of him this year. It drops to $49 million next year, $39 at the end of 27, and if he makes it through the 2028 season and then gets canned, it's $29 million, a little more than $29 million. So, I mean, you don't know these situations with money because, A&M is still paying whatever's left on the contract to Jimbo Fisher and all the money to their players.
And Bobby Bonilla.
That's right. Took the deferred payment, didn't he? That's that was. It's not the loss, right? It isn't the loss by Alabama. It's how it goes down. It's a lack of effort in some cases, right? Because you could watch the Notre Dame Miami game and think, well, hey, you know what? Miami won that game. Better the two teams at least that day. Notre Dame showed something, though. I was pretty impressed with the quarterback.
2 months.
Alabama, I don't know if they showed much.
In 2 months, if Miami played Notre Dame, I think Notre Dame would beat Miami. I think it's a true freshman quarterback starting versus like a 6-year senior. I think that had to help. And then what about Lindsey, the Arkansas legacy, starting for Minnesota in a redshirt freshman year and getting a dub? I mean, this stuff writes itself, Phil. College football season's here. It really is one of the best parts of this job that we get. We call this a job, but we get to come up here and chop it up like a couple menches. I love it.
I love the idea of the mensch here for college football. Mensch is a good person, by the way, somebody who's consistently a good person. Consistent being the most important word, right, Matt? When it comes
every single coach.
Yep.
Every single coach. You got to be consistent. That's the truth.
Consistent on the field, consistent off the field, consistent inside personal relationships, and all of that kind of stuff. Arkansas 52, Alabama A&M 7. I mean, what do you take? What do you take from the Jamboree? It's like I thought Talon played great. I thought there were some issues here and there with some pass blocking. Obviously, the first drive defensively was a disaster, but it got a lot better after that.
I got two.
I was to say, what do you take from it?
I wrote 2 pages of notes. Loved the field goal kicker was Nels. I exactly what you said.
He does have a leg, doesn't he?
Oh, my goodness. I thought Talon was the best player on the field. I think him and Omega Blake have something going on.
Looks like it.
I thought our defense was slow to react. I don't think they were reading their keys and flying. I think they were thinking a little bit. That worried me some. The other thing that I really that I don't understand, I would love for somebody to ask every single one of these coaches, like, why do these coaches lie to us? Why do they say we want to see the backups play and you're up 38 points in the third quarter and you still got your what kind of psycho is that? Like, have some humility, have some get some other players in there, and then you got your starters out there in the first, man, the coaching step that shows you how they're not very, you're like, guys, what's like every single human in the world that's a coach that's coached football before would have you put the other guys in the Jamboree. I could not believe it. It makes me wonder about this coaching step. And then, last year we got a guy that goes in the third round and we don't even play him. So maybe I wonder sometimes if these coaches know what they're doing.
I wondered a little bit about why he still had the starting line and
oh my,
there
what is
when the game's in hand? Yeah. And it's not like you expect. Now you'd pointed, you wanted to come out after halftime
and have one drive. I wrote that down right here. First drive in the third quarter. Let it be a good one. Let's go down there. Let's do what we do. That's exactly what we did. And then all of a sudden we're like, we're going to keep our starters out there. Come on, coaches.
Well, but the good feelings kept going after that. At least nobody got hurt, right? And nobody fumbled it. No fumbles, Matt. First thing we're thinking of, no lost fumbles, no fumbles you recovered on your own. In fact, Arkansas, they won the turnover battle 3 times last year, Matt. I don't even think there was a turnover in the Jamboree last year with UAPB. They're already 1-0 in the turnover battle, too. 1 turnover for the defense, none for the offense. So at least they have that going for them, too.
Well, it's we would win that division. It's just kind of embarrassing when you're an SEC club and you're crushing somebody and you don't put your back. Let's play these guys so they can get a little feel for it. Break a sweat. Go out there, let them hit somebody. And instead of keeping the starters out there, I thought it was pretty weak.
Well, then by the time you're in the fourth quarter and it's obvious that Alabama A&M wants the game to end,
they put their backups in first. Yeah. That was what blew my mind. It was like their coach has more etiquette than our coach. It's like, what's going on, man?
And then we've got a review for placement with, what was it, about a little more than 2 minutes left in the game, 52-7. That is how many eyes were rolling. I know not many people are left in the stadium by then, and maybe a lot of didn't have the game on TV or on radio, but they're reviewing a spot. They're reviewing a spot for A&M deep in their own territory in a 52-7 game with about 2.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And the refs had to run all the way to the other side of the field to look at it, too. So most of my eyes rolled as well, but I guess their supervisors are watching as well.
I got to watch a little of that Texas-Ohio State game. What did we say?
Was Arch Manning the fastest player in Ohio?
Right, and what did we say though? That game might be the first one to 24 was going to win that game. I don't think we should judge Arch Manning too harshly. Is
Agreed.
what I'm like. There's a lot of people ready to sink the ship there. Hey, that Ohio State team, Phil, that's a real football team. To go up there and have to play against them in that defense. So
that Texas defense is legit.
That's
too.
real too. That's real too.
That's the thing you take for the Texas is not. This is where I love the idea now. The regular season does mean more now because the Texas loss in that game back in the day. That's it. They're not going to make a national championship. You might have trouble making a playoff, truthfully, if you're down to 4 teams. I know it's SEC and all of that, but. That does not end anybody's national championship hopes. Same with Notre Dame losing to Miami.
I like that we had our starting RB1 taking a carry in the fourth quarter against Alabama A&M.
Well, by then he'd only carried it 8 times. So.
Oh my goodness, though! Like, come on, let's get it together, guys.
Well, I bet you they're out there quite a bit longer Saturday against Arkansas State.
Yeah, we got a gauntlet. You see how tough this season is. Let's make sure we get them an extra carry against Alabama A&M, our starters.
Well, it's going to be tough this Saturday. There's Arkansas. I checked it earlier this morning and forgot to write it down with the bets there is in line for this Arkansas State game. I like this little factoid from Matt Stoles, who's the longtime radio voice of the Red Wolves. 32 states have multiple FBS teams. 31 of them have had in-state matchups, and only one has not, and that ends on Saturday, Arkansas being the outlier there. Should be favored by a couple. Well, look at this. It's grown. 23-point favorite for Saturday, Matt. Who's the home team? I know it's an Arkansas home game. Probably have more Razorback fans in the stadium by far, but Jonesboro's a little closer to Little Rock than Fayetteville is.
Well, we come out on defense and fly around. That's for sure. Don't look past Arkansas State and start looking towards Oxford and Ole Miss. That Memphis game still scares me a little bit more than Arkansas State game, Phil. I think we'll be okay. But don't look ahead. Go out there, study film, understand what the concepts are. And the defense, it almost seems like we were catching. We were kind of on our back feet. We weren't really attacking and flying and swarming, group gang tackling, so to speak. Got it. What defense going to have to play a little bit faster. One thing I did write down was, do you think this team is going to be physical enough on defense in the SEC?
I was not very, I don't know if pleased is the right word. There wasn't a lot of flash from the defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where physically, if you're manhandled on the defensive line, but you still have good linebacker and secondary play, you're still giving up 5 to 6 yards per rush. And that's going to be an issue. That's going to be an issue this week. That could be an issue against everybody you're playing for the remainder of the season.
I like that receiver from the transfer from Florida State. I think he's going to be
Jaylen
nice.
Brown.
Yeah, I like him.
The receivers look good.
Yep, receivers probably were our best group. I think Taylor Green I thought was the best player on the field, and I thought the receivers looked pretty good.
Well, that'll wrap up our whole idea for Saturday's Jamboree. We're going to have a lot to get to as far as that's concerned. Plus, we want your ideas from what you saw. And what does it mean to you to see Arkansas score on 6 of 8 drives in the end zone with Taylor Green, but still have some issues pass blocking right up the middle or the defensive line, not really making a lot of plays. Scott Starzik's leg stood out, Matt. This is another kid that's going to make – it looks like a kid who can make a 60-yarder.
I like it. Just when you're calling offense and you're trying to keep a game in striking distance, so to speak, knowing that if you get on the other side of the 40, that it's 3 points. Man, that's just it helps you. You not that you relax, but you don't press. You're not like, oh, we got to score a touchdown, or we got to get it into the 30 before our field goal kicker can kick it. But having that type of confidence really helps you kind of do whatever you want on offense. It can be 3rd and 3. You don't have to just run the ball. You can throw the ball. You can do certain things when you have a field goal kicker with a leg like that.
It was really cool, though, just for the whole, and it started Thursday, and we got into it Friday at the Rally House. How awesome was it to have college football right there on your television for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row? Last night's game wasn't really all that interesting to me.
I was going to say I stopped at about 9:38 when Max Johnson got in and let him down on a drive. I was like, I'd like to see that. Last touchdown he threw was to his brother at A&M. The first touchdown he throws at North Carolina. And then the very next time they get the ball, Phil, they just run a simple handoff play and they fumble it. And I was like, yeah, it's enough football for me.
Mm-hmm. The patient flatlined at that point. Mm-hmm. But it was fun to have all this fun. A unique weekend because the NFL kind of, not takes over, but starts Thursday. So we won't have our Sunday and Monday and college football games for a good long time until bowl season. But we would like to open up the Lewis Automotive Hotline for you for the next segment, 877-377-6963. Alyssa Orange coming up at 11:30. Bill King, Nashville Sports Radio 115. 3 up, 3 down. The triumphant return of Dr. Charlie Liggett of River Valley Smile Center coming up about an hour from right now. It's halftime. It's a Monday like Tuesday, and it's great to be with you after a Razorback win. And back right after this.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Lewis Guarantee. Want to let your voice be heard?
Y'all get me going to work every morning, so I appreciate what you guys do.
Send us a voicemail on the Hit That Line app and speak your truth.
Cheering for the other SEC schools is like cheering for the devil because he's in the Bible.
I mean, I would need a six-pack and a catheter.
Leave us a message for ESPN Arkansas after every Razorback game with our Hit That Line Now app.
You guys are the best. I totally disagree.
Man, hey, them hoes can't do no wrong, fella.
ESPN Arkansas, more than just sports radio.
Hey, Ty Richardson. We're here at Shangri-La Resort, Mount Ida, Arkansas, here with my buddy Phil Carr. Phil, it's football season. I know you're hustling and bustling. You're trying to watch games. You're trying to keep up here. Man, this really is the perfect time to come see us at Shangri-La, isn't it?
Oh, it's a great time. The lake's not quite as busy. We're still open 7 days a week. It's just a great time. You can enjoy the games, you can enjoy the food, and enjoy the lake a little more because there's less people out.
Phil, what do we always say about Shangri-La Resort?
Shangri-La Resort in beautiful Mount Ida, Arkansas. A touch of paradise and a boatload of fun.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. How about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Hey, Hog fans, if you can't be at the game, the next best seat in the house is at Sofa City. They've got this new leather reclining set with heat, massage, surround sound, and even vibration, so you can feel like you're in the middle of all the action. And if you're looking for deals, they've got them. Recliners start at just $298, or you can upgrade your set with a power reclining sofa for only $998. It's all in stock, so you can buy it today and enjoy it tonight. Visit Sofa City near you, Portsmouth, Russellville, Harrison, and Mountain Home. Or see more at sofacityusa.com.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Contractors, you've got jobs to win and customers to impress. That's why you choose Luxair HVAC systems, built for performance, efficiency, and reliability. And at J&B Supply, we've had your back since 1968. We're a local family-owned distributor that treats our customers like family too, with the products, expertise, and service you need to get the job done right. For over 50 years, HVAC and plumbing pros have trusted J&B Supply in Fort Smith, Springdale, and Bentonville. J&B Supply, where the professionals go.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Thrown like a star in my vast sleep, I opened my eyes to take a peek, to find that I was by the sea, gazing with tranquility. Just then when I heard the good man came singing songs of love. Then when I heard the good man came singing
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Opening up the Lewis Automotive Hotline for you, and anytime you want to get in during this segment, Alyssa Orange comes up when after the next commercial break. So it's 877-377-6963. Just looking at some of the texts here. Seth says, yeah, Arch Manning was really the fastest player this weekend against Ohio State. That's a tough place for your first start, isn't it?
Who said he was really the fastest player?
That was our man Brian.
Oh, I thought.
Well,
I thought you were being serious first. I was like, what happened?
Sth was adding the sarcasm
to
the moment.
I'm a little slow today, Phil. I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's a 3-day weekend.
Yeah,
that kind of thing happens at that point. I didn't get a chance to watch that game much because we were in the middle of the Learfield pregame, and I was kind of watching out of the corner of my eye, looking at the box score. 17 out of 30 for 170 yards. I know he made some plays. There were some other plays where the mechanics looked a little bit weird, but I have a sense that the Ohio State defense can do that to some quarterbacks.
And that's what my pop said was it was more of his footwork, just more of being I don't know if natural's the right word, but just kind of trusting everything. Everything's coming at you super, super fast. And then that's why you do your footwork drills every single day. I mean, it's just innate. So it's just part of it. When things get a little crazy, you understand what you're supposed to do. I just think he's a baby. I think he's going to be okay.
Logan thinks missing Landon Jackson hurts on the defensive line. Absolutely. I mean, it's going to hurt no matter what. It's just what were you able to put there in his place? And it isn't just Landon Jackson either. I have a sense that you're going to miss Eric Gregory this year too. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what they replaced him with necessarily. Like Keyshawn Blackstock got in there for it was more than a handful of plays. Cam made a couple of plays, but if you're just looking at the numbers, at least statistically, nobody really flashed. Your leading tacklers were linebackers and safeties. Yeah, Julian Neal, Shakur Smalls, Stephen Dix, each leading with 4 tackles. The leading defensive lineman in terms of tackles, Charlie Collins, had 2. And not too much pressure, a little bit of pressure here and there. Zach says you want to watch good group gang tackling, go watch the TCU tape. I watched enough of it in the first quarter yesterday to get a sense that they were tackling really, really well.
You know, it's a different type of athlete, and I'm not saying that Belichick's not a good coach. We all know he's a great coach, one of the best. But college kids are a little bit different than professionals. You know, you're still molding, you're still teaching fundamentals, you're still teaching basics. You know, how many high school kids even know how to watch film the proper way yet? You know, so there's a lot of teaching, a lot of learning going on still, and I don't know. They didn't look like they had a lot of speed, and maybe it was their quarterback wasn't vibing right, because when Max Johnson got in, dude was picking them apart. But then again, when it's the fourth quarter, they're just playing base defense. You know, you're not really you're just keeping it in front of you. Yeah, if it takes you 9 minutes to go score a touchdown when we're up 40, okay, you know. So but I do like that. I mean, he's played a lot of ball.
Brent's on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Good morning, Brent. How's the mouth today?
The mouth is outstanding, Phil and Matt. How are you guys?
My mouth is good, too. Yeah, it's good to have a couple days to not have to do much with it, but I'm glad yours is great.
I'm always great, especially now that I'm feeling better. I was sick with COVID last week and didn't get to go to the ball game Saturday, so I'm good.
Well, what do you think of the game? What'd you make of it?
The game, I thought I think, and I want Matt's opinion, I think Taylor Green's got some real dudes at receiver that can make plays, make the defenders miss. I think we've got some receivers that can catch the ball and go somewhere with it this year. I really do. And I was really proud of the no turnovers in the game, and very, very few first game penalties, like sides, jumping off sides and things like that. And our kicker, I think we've got another Cam Little. In what's his last name? Funny last name.
Starzik.
Yes.
I have a feeling they'll be playing the
Phil.
Starsky and Hutch theme every time he comes out to kick.
Phil.
Yes.
I was watching Coach Van Horn's press conference today about the opening of fall ball.
Yeah,
and
pretty cool.
Yes, I missed. They're going to play Little Rock and ORU in
Dallas
in the
Baptist.
fall. Is that right?
Yeah, they're playing Dallas Baptist on the Saturday and Little Rock on the Friday. It's the weekend of the Tennessee game. So I think, 6 o'clock Friday, 1 o'clock Saturday?
So, can I ask you this? Do you know if that fall ball in that game in Fayetteville is going to be on a football Saturday or no?
Road game. It's the Tennessee weekend, so they would never. I doubt they would do it during a home game. But it's a road game. Tennessee, and they're going to get off the field. The Tennessee game may not have the kickoff time yet. I think it's a flex for ESPN to choose between 2:30 and 7 o'clock. So I think they're anticipating that'll be a later in the afternoon or a night game, and then you get, what do you play? Usually 7 innings for these exhibitions. Dallas Baptist will be fun.
That'd be great, but I'm going to be in Tennessee that weekend for the football game. So.
Yeah, me too. That's why I would love to go watch these guys play fall ball, but I have to watch a little bit of some scrimmages or whatever.
Hey, Phil, can I ask you this is another baseball question. Can fans come in and watch just in practice?
Yeah, they're not baseball is so unlike the other sports where they don't treat everything like it's some national security secret that you need double passwords and to get in and confiscate your phone camera when you first walk in. No, they're not like that. You can't walk into football practice. You can't just walk into basketball practice. You can, however, just walk into a baseball practice or a scrimmage.
Because I'd love to be able to go. How many days a week are they going to practice? Do you know?
My guess is they do it 5 or 6.
So they'll probably be practicing Friday. I can ease over there and watch a little baseball practice before I go to Bentonville to watch Bentonville Conway.
Man, you might as well fill your day with as much sports as you possibly can, Brent. That's one way to do it.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much.
Yeah, you
Have a
got it.
great
Appreciate
day.
you. Thank you, Brent. 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Hotline. They did not do a fall series last year. They just played amongst themselves. This year doing a fall series. And I don't know if you can look into it. That means you play fewer guys. Unless you play yourself, everybody plays. You play somebody else, some guys might not play as much. Look into it if you choose. I'm not going to. Breaking in a moment, and we'll talk with Alyssa Orange from Pig Trail Nation. Remember about Crabtree RV Center in Alma. If you're headed down to the game this Saturday, you might drive right past it, where I-40 and I-49 come together, right beside the Cracker Barrel, with the old logo, of course. Crabtree RV Center gives every buyer and their family the best RV purchasing experience. Help you choose the right RV. Personalized financing at Crabtree, and a top-of-the-line parts and service department on site. CrabtreeRV.com to get started. Alyssa Orange joining us from the Varsity Vibe podcast right after this.
Oh, come on, guys. It's so simple. Maybe you need a refresher course. It's all ball bearings nowadays.
This is halftime.
At the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app, we realize lots of you have thought about opening an account, but you just haven't made that move yet. Well, now's the time with our new player offer. It's easy. You just sign up, use the code WELCOME, deposit at least $25, place a $25 bet, and that's it. Once that bet settles, you'll have $125 in free bets ready to go. Bet Saracen, the most popular sportsbook app in the state. Download it today on all your devices. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible: overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
The big Jelco Outdoors summer clearance sale is going on now. Summer clothing by Ariat, Drake, Under Armour, Wrangler, and more. Men's and women's clothing now 50% off. Select Western boots by Ariat, Justin, R. Watson, Durango, and Twisted X, 50% off. Lazy Man box blinds for hunting season. Save hundreds of dollars off. Don't miss the 50% summer clearance sale. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
I've got a confession to make. I'm on my phone way too much, and most of the time, it's a waste. Hey, it's Ty Richardson for Janmart gas stations and convenience stores. There are some apps that are worth your time, such as the Janmart Rewards app. It includes top deals, the latest promotions, plus rewards that keep you coming back. Anytime I stop by the pump or register, my loyalty number is being utilized. Keeping up with my points and offers is easy. Download the Janmart Rewards app today in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Janmart, the leading gas station and convenience stores in Arkansas.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Wanna move into the full slow room. Living pools to the animal juice. The rules that you choose to use to get loose. With the luminous moves. Let me get it like wow. It's like right now. It's like wow. It's like right now. It's like wow.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
We are efforting Alyssa Orange from Varsity Vibe. Looks like the phone's ringing. That's probably her. What were we hearing there, Matt? I know that was Beck. I think I've heard this song recently.
Yeah, Wow.
Wow, that's right. Tyler asked, what song is this? That's Wow.
Celebrate his. There's a couple artists, Phil, that I know we both celebrate their entire catalog. Beck's one of them, man. I celebrate his entire catalog.
David in Fort Smith asked, how far do you think Cam can kick in Denver with favorable conditions? How many yards do you add onto a kick a mile high? What do you think?
2, depending
2
on
yards?
the wind. Depending on the wind as well. 3. I think there's definitely you get downwind that he could.
Here's the thing: I'd rather kick indoors at sea level than in Denver. A mile high. Just that you can those controlled conditions in the domed stadium. That's where I'd like to kick.
Indianapolis Colts. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I bet you, David. I bet you. He's asking about Cam Little. What did he kick, a 70-yarder in the preseason in Denver? Favorable conditions. Let's put a dome over the stadium in Denver. Let's say he could kick it. What do you think? 80 yards? Because there is a little room to spare in that 70-yarder.
What's the record in the NFL?
66.
66. Yeah, I think he could do that. I think he could set the record.
All right. Well, we got Alyssa with us here from Varsity Vibe. Pardon me there, Alyssa. My apologies. And good to have you here today. Congrats. First of all, I was thinking of you. I didn't get to watch it because I was in the middle of the Arkansas-Alabama A&M game. But for a Florida State graduate, after the season you guys had last year, man, what did that feel like? And you're still in a glow from it, I'm sure.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome, huh? I remember because I was at the game too, the Arkansas game. So it was Finn's birthday, so I had him, and he had gone down onto the field with his dad to do some pregame stuff. So I was out tailgating with some friends and watched the very beginning of the Alabama-Florida State game. And when I say beginning, I just mean Alabama's first drive. And the whole entire time I'm watching it, so many people in the tailgate were like, oh, my God, Alabama's just going to run all over them. Like, Alabama, this is going to be a blowout. And I think the spread was 13.5. And I just sat there and I was just like, I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I'm nervous, but that first series for Alabama looked pretty convincing. But then I had to go into the stadium, and then the next thing I know, I check my phone. It's like, oh, the game's tied. Then I check it again. I'm like, oh, they're up 14-7. Oh, it's 17-7 and it just was like, oh, this is actually going to happen. And occasionally throughout the game, I would pull it up on my phone just to watch a little bit of it. And then once the Arkansas game kind of got a little out of hand, Finn and I sat in the stands and watched it on my phone just end. And, yeah, I didn't know what to expect. I don't think anybody did. We had talked to Gus Malzahn over the summer, Brandon Marcello and I, and he felt really good about the offense, being able to just call plays, not have to focus on anything, almost kind of falling back in love with the sport again, being able to do what he loves and be creative as a play caller. And I think you saw that on Saturday. And, man, it was doubly sweet when you beat Alabama, and then, of course, for Gus to beat Alabama. And now, I'm not trying to get too high or too low, but all the positive things people are saying about Florida State, I don't hate. So it was a good Saturday for me.
Yeah, I try not to overreact too much on week one, Alyssa, and I watched some of that game. I thought that was pretty cool as well. I will ask you one more thing about it. Do you think, and Phil and I were talking about this earlier today, I don't think Saban gets back into college football coaching, but if Alabama doesn't kind of turn it around a little, let's say they only win 8 games, I think Nick Saban could coach Alabama again. I think that's the only team Nick Saban coaches. If he coaches again, it would be Alabama.
Mm-hmm. I think so, and a lot of people have said that too. That like if Kalen DeBoer can't get this thing going, Nick Saban's going to return and try to right the ship again. The one thing I did think was interesting when I went back and watched just a little bit more, and what I did see from Alabama, I just didn't feel like there was a swagger or a toughness there that you're used to seeing with Alabama. And I think if you're an Alabama fan, that's concerning because that's really an identity of just an Alabama football program, not just a team year to year. And I'm interested to see if they're able to fix that and turn that around. But at the end of the day, my feelings weren't hurt, so I'm fine.
It was effort in some cases, too. And again, I'm going off of highlights, but there were 3 or 4 instances of you could see an Alabama defender jogging, figuring he's beat, and there's no reason to give any effort at that point. And I just, championship programs usually you don't see that very often, and I would think that's first thing to fix.
Yeah, you would think so. You would go back to the film, and I'm pretty sure that Alabama football team has heard plenty already from their coaches in film sessions about what to do and what not to do in terms of just effort and body language, right?
Yeah. Would you have rushed the field? Pinto asked. If you put yourself in that state, would you?
Sure. Oh, sure. Oh, yeah. If I was there, absolutely. As a fan, oh, yeah. So hi, Pinto. But so I did it twice for basketball season when I was a student there when they beat Duke. And I remember the first time I was a sophomore or a freshman, and we rushed the court too early, and they had to push us back, and then we did it again. It's fun.
Hey, Alyssa,
so yeah, I'd be right down there.
This Arkansas Alabama A&M game, I thought Taylon Green was the best player on the field. What other position group did you come away with? Was it the receivers? Was it the D-backs? What other position group did you come away feeling pretty good about after you watched game one?
I felt really good about the run game, honestly. Watching Mike Washington and Braylon Russell, I thought that they were very impressive. But the wide receivers, and when people have asked me, Matt, like how I felt about the game, I think Taylon's just got a lot more weapons around him. Not that the guys last year weren't as good, but I think he's just more comfortable with the guys that he does have around him. And so you look at Omega Blake, C.J. Brown, those guys are just, they're a little bit different, and they got more separation, and it felt like Taylon felt more comfortable throwing to multiple guys on the field as opposed to maybe just, Andrew Armstrong every time. And that was really good to see, to be able to spread the ball around as much as they did from a passing standpoint, because they're going to need that throughout the whole entire season, because guys are going to have off games, right? And you can't have your one target having an off game and now you've got no other weapons around you offensively that you feel comfortable throwing to. So that was really good to see that it's been pretty evident that was an emphasis all fall camp and in the summer to get that chemistry going with Talon and those new guys around him in the wide receiver room.
Sometimes a little difficult to know what it is you can believe, when you're watching two such disparate levels of football. But here is one thing, and Sam touched on it after the game. This is why I think Arkansas is going to be pretty good in special teams this year.
You can have the greatest guys on there that can cover a kick. You can have the greatest protection on field goal. You can have the greatest protection on punt. But if you don't have a punter, a kicker, and a returner, you don't have great special teams. You just don't. Scott is really good about evaluating kickers and punters. He just is. He's got two of them starting in the NFL right now from here. Scott Starsick did a wonderful job as a true freshman out there. Devin Bell is really good at punting. We've got can cover, and Scott went out and got Shanks.
Now, I will say this. I hope Shanks doesn't put himself in that position where he doesn't call for the fair catch and gets drilled right as he catches it.
That was bad.
But there was one good return. I think his speed will play, and Devin's a really good punter, but Starzik looks like he's the real deal as far as what we saw a couple years ago.
Yeah, I think so, and I think that that's where you want to be comfortable, right, with special teams. The last thing you want to do is run your special teams out there worried about anything, and for them to have faith. Obviously, Devin Bale has just been just steady for this Arkansas team over the last couple of years, and then you add someone who can be electric like Cam Shanks, and then with their kicker, it makes you feel a little bit better when it's just like, okay, we got this, instead of, oh my gosh, we just don't know what's going to happen. And I know that Arkansas fans have kind of had that, we were really spoiled with Cam Little, but now, before Cam Little, it was like, oh gosh, like what, we don't really know what's going on with even last year, what is going on with the kicking team? What's going to happen? Like, are they going to miss it? Are they going to? There's just, you don't really want to have that kind of uncertainty with your special teams, and so maybe like the offensive and defensive line, they're the unsung heroes of this team because you don't talk about them if they're performing well. So, got to give them their love when they deserve it.
Any team you want to highlight from your first weekend hosting Varsity Vibe from the high school football world?
Yeah,
who stood out for you?
Well, I think. Sure, and I think it was a really fun opening week 0 around the high school scene on Friday night, and I was on my couch watching and bouncing around as much as I could. Fayetteville dominant in their win over Cabot. Bentonville able to go over and get the win at Tulsa Union. But, I was really impressed with Bentonville West, and even though they lost that game to Greenwood, I think you could argue that they probably could have won that game, maybe should have won that game against a really good Greenwood team that, maybe defensively this year might not be as strong as they've been in the past. And I think Bentonville West took advantage of that. Their quarterback, Trey Thompson, played really well. And they had an opportunity down at the end of that game to win it in the end zone. And unfortunately, one touchdown was called back for a flag, and the other one, he was just out of bounds. But I was really impressed with Bentonville West, and I'm very curious to see how this 7A West is going to look this year, because you've got a lot of really good teams that are going to be fighting for those couple top 5 spots in that league, and it'll be really, really fun. So I think if I had to give a shout-out to a team, even though they lost, I think Bentonville West was one to keep an eye on. And, like Southside beating Northside 27-7, and the Battle of Rogers Avenue was pretty cool, too. So it was a fun opening week 0.
Here's some interesting facts on this Arkansas State game. Sam hit on this. We make so much about Arkansas, the Razorbacks, not having enough high school stars from the state. I count 28 members of the roster that are from the state of Arkansas. The Red Wolves have 12 Arkansans on the Arkansas State roster. I'm not sure what you make of that, because if the theory would be here, should Arkansas be getting more players from the state, the better players from the state, would that also work for Arkansas State? They seem to have a pretty good mid-major Sun Belt program.
Well, but I also think you could counter that with the good in-state players are playing at Arkansas. And so there's not, everyone doesn't get an equal piece of the pie kind of thing, to where, your best players are playing for the flagship school in Fayetteville. And I think that we all know that at that point, too, you're just going to recruit players who can play in your system and who can play at the level of competition that you're playing. And you're not just going to go get anyone out of the state of Arkansas just because they happen to be in your backyard. And I think that they know that. You've got to go recruit talent. And if the talent is already being taken in one direction in the state, well, you got to go somewhere else to get it. So that doesn't necessarily surprise me.
Yeah, I think it works both ways, truthfully, for both teams.
Yeah.
Alyssa, we'll leave it there, and looking forward to visiting again. Maybe Florida State ought to be 2-0. They probably should be 2-0 next week, okay?
Let's hope so. If they turn around and they lose to, I can't even remember who they're playing, Texas A&M Commerce or something.
Well, it used to be A&M Commerce. Now it's East Texas A&M. Remember, they made their debut as East Texas A&M against Arkansas women's hoops last year.
Yes. Okay. Well, that's who they're playing. And if that happens, don't call me next week.
Sounds good. I'll make a note. So Alyssa Orange, the host of Varsity Vibe, and she'll join us every Tuesday on Halftime as long as the Seminoles don't lose to inferior programs. We'll be back with more Halftime to wrap up hour number 1 right after this break.
This is Halftime.
Need a new fence but not ready to pay all at once? The Fence Man, serving Fort Smith for over 40 years, offers 18-month financing so you can secure your home or office now and pay over time. Free quotes, custom designs, and the expertise to accomplish what most can't. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanar.com. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
All right. It's a beautiful day for football here at the stadium, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Score 0-0. And suddenly, I'm in the mood for a Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar. Now that's a winning combo. Yeah, crisp, refreshing. That hits the spot. When it comes to great taste, Coke Zero Sugar's always on the scoreboard. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar.
Looking for quality metal buildings and roofing? Metal Mart has you covered. From prefabricated metal buildings to custom trim, carports, and more, Metal Mart is your one-stop shop. Contractors and do-it-yourselfers are always welcome, and their experts will help you calculate the materials you need, all at a price you can afford. With locations in Fort Smith, Little Rock, and Jonesboro, or visit metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Where can you get good neighbor service and surprisingly great insurance rates? At State Farm, because State Farm agent Heath Roberts is your one-stop shop in the River Valley for the service you deserve at the price you want. So stop looking around. State Farm agent Heath Roberts is ready to help. Call 479-452-4088 for your surprisingly great rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Lowe's knows tough jobs call for tougher tools. The new DeWalt Elite Series power tool accessories are built to last for the pro who doesn't stop. With precision fitment, durability, and impact resistance, finishing jobs faster has never been easier. Shop the new DeWalt Elite Series at an everyday low price exclusively at Lowe's. We help, you save.
Hardee's Original Bag is back, now with even more full-size sandwiches. Choose any two. The new spicy chicken sandwich, hot ham and cheese, hand-breaded chicken tender wrap, or charbroiled double cheeseburger. Mix and match any two. With fries and a drink, just $6.99. Why settle for junior burgers? Get big savings on full-size goodness in Hardee's country. Download the app and join my rewards for special offers. These items only, tax not included. Price and participation may vary. See app for terms.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Touch with me. Oh, I ain't begging, but no reason my head. I sure do want you to know that you're everywhere.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
How much of Rod Stewart's catalog do you celebrate, Matt?
Ooh, Billy Joel, Elton John, Beck. I know we're 100% on those catalogs.
I'm kind of with Rod Stewart where I am with Elton John. Yeah, skip any time where he was trying to imitate disco. Billy Joel never tried to do that.
Yeah, and some of Rod Stewart's stuff when he was in the band Faces, I like some of that too. Yeah, I don't know, 60%, but 60% of the time it works every time.
That's a pretty good catalog to celebrate. But
good.
There was a disco theme, and he was wearing those real tight pants. But then it's not like wearing tight pants is the thing to really get you, because you could celebrate the Stones' entire catalog. They're still wearing tight pants.
Beatles' entire catalog, the Stones' entire catalog. I just want to know if C-Movie enjoyed the movie over the weekend.
I'm going to ask him that later on. Don't answer that question, because there's another catalog I wonder if he's going to celebrate, and it's John Travolta's catalog of top 40 hits, in which there's some good ones. If he's singing with Olivia Newton-John, it's worth your time. But then there's this song, I'm addicted to these Casey Kasem reruns, and during the holidays, he'll play the top 100 from every year from 1970 through 1987. And I think this was 74 or 75. And I don't remember what number it was. Number 83, number 73, number 69, whatever it was. John Travolta had a song called Let Her In, which made it to number 10 on the top 40. And it's somewhere in the top 100. And it's one of the worst songs I've ever heard in my life. So I'm going to need to assign him not just Travolta movies, Matt, but a catalog of songs to despise too.
I think he's a better airplane pilot.
Much better. He's much better at being an FBI agent. He's much better at being a gangster. He's much better at, being some kind of a Bond imitator, a dancer than a singer. His voice is not bad. It's just, 18-year-old Travolta wasn't necessarily a great lyricist. We'll put it that way. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive hotline. Come out and be a part of all this fun banter this week. We're in Little Rock for 2 on-location shows. The Cantrell location, Whole Hog Cafe, Thursday from 11 to 2. And then we're at State Farm agent Charlotte Potts' office on Chenal Parkway on Friday. That's just before the Promenade Shopping Center on Chenal. Hoping that you can make it, or if not, just listen, because we're going to be on location Thursday at Whole Hog Cafe on Cantrell in Little Rock. That's Lower Cantrell, closer to downtown. And then State Farm agent Charlotte Potts' office Friday. She's got 2 offices, one in North Little Rock. We'll be at the Chenal Parkway location Friday from 11 to 2. Hour number 2 of halftime will include the triumphant return of Dr. Charlie Liggett from River Valley Smile Center and 3 Up, 3 Down about 20 minutes from now. Otherwise, wide open when we come back after the top of the hour break.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Got a pest? Call West. If you have pest or termite problems in your home, call West today and learn how their 50 years combined experience can help solve your problems with competitive pricing and quality services, all designed with your pets and children in mind. Call today and schedule your free estimate. They even offer Saturday services and long life attic pest control. Call 782-7291. West Termite and Pest Control, protecting your home health and peace of mind.
It's football season, and that means tailgate parties and gathering with friends. River Point Wine and Spirits has all your favorite party supplies. You'll love our clean, organized store full of all the best liquor, wine, and beer. At River Point, we're a family-owned business where customer service is always our priority. Your journey, our spirit. River Point Wine and Spirits, Grand Avenue and I-540.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
Hi, this is Pruitt Tollett with WT Equipment. When it's hay season, you need equipment that works as hard as you do. Premier Forge tools, from mowers to balers, are built tough to perform in the field and backed by support you can count on. At WT Equipment, we help you get the right Premier tools and keep them running strong. Come by and see us at our 8 locations or visit us online, WTEquip.com. Premier, because your hay doesn't wait.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, a chance of seeing some scattered showers and thunderstorms, especially as we head towards the afternoon. Our high temperatures today in the low to mid 80s. Isolated showers and storms tonight, and overnight low in the low to mid 60s. And a slight chance of showers and storms across the south on Wednesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grain Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that can respect it. Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's Halftime with Bill Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
But they were one race back.
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
.12:01 officially the afternoon on a Tuesday, and welcome back to Halftime. You're listening to ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. I'm Phil Elson, Matt Jones in studio, Christian Johnston looking right at him as well, and we're doing 3 Up, 3 Down with Dr. Charlie Liggett 15 minutes or so from right now. So now's the time if you want. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive Hotline. Charlie's on hold. We'll go to him in a moment here. Going to root through some of these texts. Got our first prediction of the Arkansas State game. Matt Keogh says 49-13. Hogs beat the Red Wolves. Bet Saracen's got a 23-point spread in favor of the Razorbacks Tuesday of game week. That would would you be surprised with a blowout of that proportion against A-State?
I would not be surprised if Arkansas got to 40-plus points. No, I wouldn't.
Okay, now what about the idea of A-State getting to 25 or 30 points?
I don't think A-State can get to 30 points. Do I think they can get into the teens? Yeah, they could get into the teens. I'm really not. I mean, you got to take them seriously. Depends on how focused we are. I expect a better showing as far as how the defense plays. And what do you say? You win 52-7. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. But some of the eye test stuff, you think the defense will fly around a little bit better.
How about they did well after that first drive, truthfully? What was it, 75 yards in the first drive? I think they allowed only 130 yards for the remainder of the game. So,
Travis Williams is one of the best coaches in the country at making adjustments, Phil, as a D coordinator, seeing what the other team has a game plan, what they're doing. Bam, how are we going to counter it? He's one of the best there is in the country at it.
Got a couple texts in here about the idea of Nick Saban returning to Alabama specifically. Hogwild thinks he's done, and that Alabama is softer than a baby's bottom. It's the idea of that always being a talking point now on the game day show, and how you look to Nick Saban to answer the questions about Alabama, right? It's like you can retire and ride off into the sunset and leave college football, just like Paul Mainieri did in college baseball for a couple of years after quote-unquote retiring from LSU, and he wasn't even paying attention to the sport for 2 years. He even felt the pull to come back in. That's a national championship winning coach, not 6 of them like Saban, but still somebody who's done something that not a lot of people can say they did. But Saban's always going to be asked about Alabama every single week. He can't avoid it. So I don't know. It's tough to get in the mind of anybody, certainly someone like that. But he's got to be thinking as he watches something like that, look at what was built. You hand the keys to somebody and you figure, well, even if they're not driving at 100%, they can keep it in the lane. And it just doesn't look like Alabama was on the same highway as what Nick Saban had them at, Matt. Not at all.
It's tough. It's tough work. I'm with you. The thing that Saban had really going was that defense was first class. That was what you think about Alabama was, man, they're going to be physical. Saban's a defensive coach, and that they're going to run the ball. It's like they don't do any of those things well.
Well, you can point to the idea of maybe Ty Simpson being a little bit underwhelming in his debut as the Alabama starting quarterback. But then how many times does Alabama allow 230 rushing yards and nearly 5 yards per carry? The quarterback doesn't have much to do with that. It's getting pushed around and a lack of hustle that just doesn't quite compute coming from Alabama football. Here's a really funny sponsorship. This is official. This is legit. This has come out a couple hours ago. Matt, the Tush Push has an official sponsor. Only when it's done by the Philadelphia Eagles, apparently. And, man, I forgot to go buy these when I went on that trip to the Grand Canyon. Turned out Castile soap worked in the Colorado River. Dude Wipes are now the official sponsor of the Tush Push. That is perfect. Absolutely perfect. How many of these football players are going to try to get one of these in the middle of a game? Tush Push, the official sponsor, Dude Wipes. It's like Butterfinger and drop passes. These things work slippery hand and ball. What other plays could have official sponsorships? We'd have to think of that as we go throughout this. 877-377-6963. Maybe Starkist Tuna could have a sponsorship for, I don't know, a football team that doesn't smell right. What's up, Charlie? How are you today?
What's up? I mean, look, Phil, if you smell right and you're playing football, you're not playing. Who's going out there to smell right while playing football? Matt, have you ever heard of that? Are you squirting some cologne on everywhere as you head out to go to the field? I mean, are you?
I know smelling salts.
You're probably holding a clipboard.
I mean, this is the thing. Look good, feel good, play good. Ain't nobody said nothing about smell good. I've never heard it. in my life. Look, I agree with you earlier, Matt. I heard kind of the beginning of the show, like the first couple segments y'all talked about. Look, this idea that I want to call out the national media a little bit on this. Like, dude, you hype up this kid and Manning, and then he goes out there and we act like Ohio State stinks. Like, going to that place and playing against that team on the road. Look, he had some missed plays, but look, if one game defines us or anyone, then by God, we probably shouldn't be doing it. I mean, one bad moment does not define that kid. I don't care what anybody says.
The only
That is
thing,
one
Charlie,
bad-
and I completely agree with you. It's just, what are you going to watch from Manning for the next month? San Jose, UTEP, Sam Houston.
That's true.
You know, they don't play an SEC team until October. And so that performance against Ohio State is what people are going to be going by for the most part until he plays Florida on October the 4th. And then there's a chance to change, you know, how we now view him. But absolutely, you know, going up against Ohio State in the Horseshoe is a heck of a lot different than, you know, like a Blake Shapen playing for a fifth year in college football and going to Hattiesburg against Southern Miss. It's a lot different.
I mean, and my thing with the national media, though, Phil, is like, okay, they hype this guy up, do all this stuff, and then now we're on TV today, like, we're going to crucify. I mean, the kid hadn't played that much. I mean, he's played like 2 games last year. And, like, let the kid grow. I mean, there's going to be some adversity. It's one game. My dad's over there like, Dad, that's Texas, remember? Oh, my bad. Like, he's over here rooting for this kid.
But
Like, on the
also,
last
Charlie,
few
like,
drafts.
isn't that's what the national media does? They've already put him in next year's overall top
He's
pick
number
in
one.
the NFL draft, for crying out loud.
He can't even play. He hasn't even played yet. It's crazy. Like, let's just give him the number 1 pick. Why does he even need to play this year, Phil, if he's the number 1 pick? Like, come on, man. It's funny to me. But no, look, I agree also too, Matt, with some of your takes earlier in the show. You had talked about us not. I was a little like, why are we not taking our guys out at that point? Like, dude, put your backups in. Like, what are we doing? Thank God no one got hurt. Let these guys play. The only concern that I did have, Phil, you had talked about the pass pro a little bit. I don't think, and he did come out and say this, that was more so on Mike Washington just flat out missed that assignment on that first one, I think. Now, by the way, on the first down of that set on that series was a touchdown. They just dropped it. You got to find a way to make that play. And then I think on third down they got sacked. But yeah, Mike Washington, that was more of a cover sack. Mike Washington just didn't see it for whatever reason. I don't know if they slid the wrong way or whatever, and Mike just didn't pick him up. But you can't miss that. That cannot happen, and I don't care who you're playing. And by the way, I am stunting, twisting, doing all kinds of things until this offensive line. I know it's a newer group. I know we got some new players, but they gotta be able to communicate better, Phil. I don't think this is a physical. They got width issue. They got to figure this stuff out as far as the twist, the stunt game, because it's gonna happen every week. Like, bro, these teams watch the tape. Like, they're gonna see that you are struggling with that, and you got to figure that out. Taylor was unbelievable, and I thought he was great. He threw that one ball, Matt. I think it was to was it Platt, and he threw that ball before he broke before he even came out of his break. I thought that was one of, like, let it go. Trust the guy that he's going to run his route and do the right thing. Now, there were a couple other times, Phil, I know you saw this, when the other team is bringing too many that we can block. Matt, is that more of okay, receivers got to know who's hot, quarterback's got to get the ball out, combination of everything? What's your take on that? Anyways, I'll hang up and listen. Y'all are going.
Thanks, Charlie.
You know, maybe you see it late. I don't know how he's changing the protection. You know, it's a numbers game, and a lot of times if you're getting blitzed, there's a couple different ways to beat it. You know, you do a hot route with if he's going to do a slant, if he's going to do an out, if he's going to hit the seam. You know, there's different ways based on what you're getting. That you got to play fast when you're getting blitzed. It's 1-2 fast. Sometimes you got to throw it away. And one of the hardest things for a quarterback to learn is, and especially when you're an athletic quarterback, is to give up on the play. So that's what it feels like as a quarterback. If I got blitzed 1-2, not throw it away. It's you feel, but you're moving on to the next play instead of making a bad play worse. But with Talon, he can get blitzed. It doesn't, and then he can make somebody miss and can still make something happen. It's just get back in the film room. Get on the same page. I thought Taylor Green was the best player on the field, and I don't think that's something like I don't think I'm speaking weird about that. I think that was pretty obvious who the best player on the field was Saturday.
Brian in Ozark has called in. What's up, Brian? What you think of Saturday? Longhorns done, or they're gonna be okay?
Done by any means. You know, this is the deal. Arch Manning had a horrific game, and a lot of that was built up for hype. You know, Steve Sarkisian is a mastermind, and he only recruits NFL talent. If you don't have a shot at going to the NFL, he's not going to recruit you, period. You know, he had a bad game. If Arch Manning would have played Alabama A&M, he would have scored 70 points. But that's the...
Well, it sounds like Brian's phone died on him for a moment there. I don't know if his phone is going up against Ohio State or against Alabama A&M, but the point is well made, and it's all
they play him next
true.
week.
Yeah, I mean, you get him. That's right.
They get him. They get him next week.
We'll see what he looks like against San Jose State, then UTEP, and then Sam Houston. And then they get an off week, and then they play just SEC teams the remainder of the year, and that's really where rubber's going to meet the road for him. But until then, Matt, our understanding of Arch Manning is the performance against Ohio State. It doesn't mean that's what you are. That's what you are for the next month.
And Ohio State's defense is going to embarrass a couple more quarterbacks along the way as well. He don't feel special. Arch won't be the only one.
877-377-6963 if you want to get with us on anything for 3 Up, 3 Down, which, by the way, we're going to do in just a moment here with Dr. Charlie Liggett from River Valley Smile Center. Stay with us. This is Halftime.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
That's better. Number 35, a 6'11 junior from Slater, Missouri, Joe Klein.
Michael Jordan knocked down by Klein.
For Arkansas, their key player, obviously, in the middle, 6'11, Joe Klein.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years, and it's just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, HOGS, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to mybookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's, where bettors win together, because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Got a little jingle.
Dad, the driver looks dirty.
You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small.
Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561
or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
Some folks look for trouble, and some look for relief. Well, maybe you look for Jesus, I look for relief. You talk about the weather, used to make it was fine. Now we never hang together, now you're never on my mind.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Back on a Tuesday on halftime. This is something that we will be getting back to doing every Monday. We've actually been doing it on Mondays for the last couple of months. We just haven't had our premier sponsor with us. And since there was no show yesterday, we're doing it today. Let's get to 3 Up, 3 Down.
It's time for 3 Up, 3 Down. Presented by River Valley Smile Center with Dr. Charles Liggett.
Right, 3. Good morning, good afternoon, good night.
What is 3 Up and 3 Down mean to you, Airman?
End of an inning, strike 3.
Well, Matt, isn't it nice you can just take 2 months off of well, he's probably not taking 2 months off of work. He just took 2 months off from us. Dr. Charlie Liggett is with us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Charlie, how you doing? We've missed you.
I've missed you guys too. So glad to be back.
So I'll ask you the question that every kid gets asked at school. How was your summer, Charles?
Actually had a really good summer. We went to the lake a lot and had a lot of fun.
It's awesome. I hear the lake is really is the place to be with the Liggett family. Well, let's get into this here. We got 3 things up, 3 things down from the weekend. Anything that you want, you can text it into us at 877-377-6963. My first one, guys, is the Lee Corso parlay. I don't know if you got a chance to watch Game Day Saturday. I watched at least the first hour, and then I got a chance to, while I was walking up the hill to the stadium, watch Corso make his final pick. I was really touched by everything. First of all, the fact that the competing network, Fox, showed him making his picks too. They cut their programming and went right to the ESPN set in the Horseshoe. And then, you know, it is difficult, and it has been difficult for at least 2-3 years to watch Corso go through, you know, the aging process so publicly like he has. But I also think that's a really brave thing for somebody to do. And that's something that was probably his choice. I know a lot of folks are like, I can't watch him. It's painful to watch. But I do really believe that was his choice. And it's not like he was doing it for the money. I think he was doing it for the love of college football, for the enjoyment he had around those people that he did the show with. And when you watched them talk about him, I don't know how they made it through it without breaking down. And then the feelings are so genuine. And then he's really good at what he did. He went 6-0 in the picks, for crying out loud. He picked upsets. He picked Florida State over Alabama. He got Miami over Notre Dame correct. He got LSU's win in Death Valley at Clemson correct. Ohio State over Texas. Tennessee over Syracuse. That's a great way to go out. 6-0, including the headgear pick for Ohio State. And he finished, Matt, career 2 out of every 3 headgear picks he made were correct. Way to go, Coach Corso.
Hey,
First
did
down
you also
goes,
see that,
go ahead.
that
Yes,
every team that he played for or coached for won on Saturday as well? Maryland,
so there was
Louisville,
Florida State,
State,
Louisville, Indiana, and Northern Illinois. Is that right?
and Maryland.
And Maryland, that's right. Okay, that's awesome.
He
That's-
led the
that was
Florida
pretty
State
cool.
Seminoles in passing one year and rushing the other, 55 and 56. So the dude was apparently a heck of a player as well.
Yeah, I thought it was a great way to start the season. I know that it's a little odd for him not to be on game day the rest of the year, but I thought it was a great way to start the season. First down goes to the idea of Arch Manning being the fastest man on the planet, and he did. If you saw a little bit of the comparisons, he could throw the football over that mountain right there. There was a little bit of Uncle Rico in the mechanics. Not like I should be making fun of anybody's football mechanics, because I still can't throw a spiral, and it's fun to just have a little fun with him when we were told he's the fastest man in college football. Didn't really look like it. Go ahead, Matt.
First up goes to Taylon Green, going out there and just putting on a show. That's what you want to see when you have the more talented team. I thought Taylon Green was the best player on the field, accounted for 6 touchdowns game 1. And then my first down goes to the Arkansas coaching staff. What in the world are we doing 38-7 at home against Alabama A&M, and we're still playing our starters? That's just ludicrous.
If you're one of those guys, if you are one of those starters and you've been out there for, what would it be, I guess like 8 series, are you thinking to yourself, why are they putting me out there?
No.
Or do you want to play?
No, you want to play.
Yeah.
You want to play. It's the coach's job. They're the parent in the kid. There's a kid-parent relation. That's how they're the parent in the relationship. They're supposed to make the decision. No, it could. I just didn't understand it. Like you get Arkansas State, same type of thing, and then you're going to go to Ole Miss. You want your team as healthy as possible, because, man, it doesn't. That's the easiest game we're going to play all year. That now maybe not in points wise, but in talent discrepancy, that's the easiest game we're going to play all year. What did all these other kids do in camp? Have they not been blood, sweat, and tears as well? It's a reward to get out there and play. A lot of those kids, it might have been the only time they're really going to play. Get those kids out there.
Dr. Liggett, you're up, number 1.
Okay, so I want to do my first down first, and my first down goes to me for looking at social media after the first defensive series of the Hogs game. I knew better, but I was just I couldn't. I just wanted to see what people were saying, and it was exactly what I thought it was going to be, and it was absolutely not worth looking at. But my first up goes to just kind of like Matt was talking about a minute ago, going to T-Will for the making the adjustments and getting it done. I mean, it was pretty impressive that the same things that were hurting us on that first drive really didn't affect us for the rest of the game. So I like the adjustments, even though it was a lesser opponent. It was good to see.
Very good, very good. What else?
That was my up and down.
Oh, that's both of us. So I got a second up. This one's funny. So you see the photo of Ryan Day on the sideline. I don't remember if this was before, during. You know exactly what I'm hitting at here, Charlie. I don't know what it's like to have piercings. I have no piercings on my body. Nothing that is hidden, nothing that is shown. One tattoo, and that's it. I can't remove it. I guess I can, but I've never thought about it before. I've seen some players sometimes in basketball that have nose rings forget to take their nose ring out when they go out and play. I would think that'd be a very important thing to remember. There's a photo. Matt, did you see this? I think Ryan Day has a pierced nipple. There's a photo of him, and you can see it poking through. It's not just 1 point. There's 3 points coming through the shirt, and can guarantee just for men and a stud through the nipple. Way to go, Mr. Coach Day, and maybe take it out next time you're on camera.
I don't know. When you're a man and you got a C cup, maybe don't do that. I mean, come on.
Did you see what Gundy did at the press conference?
What, today or yesterday?
No, it was yesterday. Or I guess it was Saturday. I just somebody sent me a picture of it. It was him pulling up his shirt. I guess he was showing that he doesn't have any nipple rings.
Yeah,
you have to look it up. It's
national
pretty
championships
funny.
either.
No questions about male breasts at the press conference. Pretty pleased. That just kind of took me a little bit by surprise. I got a second down, and it goes to the ACC. The ACC went 7-5 against FBS opponents this past weekend. Can't be great. The wins were North Carolina State over ECU. Wake Forest beat Kennesaw 10-9. Georgia Tech over Colorado. That was actually a good win for Georgia Tech. They look pretty good. Florida State over Alabama. Best win for the ACC this weekend. Virginia beat Coastal. Cal over Oregon State. Miami over Notre Dame. Then there's the others, the losses. North Carolina did not look like an FBS team against TCU. Tennessee blew out Syracuse. Clemson fell to LSU. I think Clemson's going to be okay. Stanford loses to Hawaii. Virginia Tech against South Carolina, also with a loss. So the ACC, you're looking at the pecking order in college football power conferences, Matt. You go SEC, Big Ten, kind of mano-a-mano, or maybe you put the Big Ten ahead a little bit right now. Then there's Big 12, and then there's ACC way down at the bottom.
I'm with you. I thought Florida State had the best win of week one. LSU, I think that was a really underrated win as well. Not a lot of people talk because I think Clemson's defense is real. That was a big win for LSU. Now, Brian Kelly looks like he might do that. He might do the Ryan Day thing. You'd be surprised.
Coaches, keep your shirts on during press conferences and during the game, unless you're Muss. With Muss, we knew there was no stud, there was no pierce nipple.
My second up goes to Florida State. Gus Malzahn, last couple years there at UCF wasn't really going as well. Goes back to the offensive coordinator role. 31-17 for the Noles over the Crimson Tide. I guess my question is FSU back or is Alabama donezo?
Or maybe it's a little of both.
Maybe it's always somewhere right there in between.
New quarterback, new coordinator for Florida State. Looks like Castellanos and Malzahn may be a pretty good fit. Who knows what happens in the near future? But that win over Alabama, that to me tells you Florida State may be back-ish.
And then my second down goes to my Northside Grizzly Bears. They had the Battle of Rogers Avenue with Southside, Northside, and they were only able to score 7 points and took an L. So maybe they'll get it. Maybe they'll get it going as the season goes on.
That's right. No overreactions, college football or high school in week one, right? All right, Dr. Liggett, what do you got number two?
Number two goes to the guy on Fox that plays the bumper music, and I've been impressed with this guy for a long time. But during the Texas-Ohio State game, after Arch throws his second pick, it goes straight to commercial, and the song that he played was "Had a Bad Day." Yeah, I think that kind of stuff's pretty cool.
That's pretty good. Yeah, but here's the thing I was wondering about you, because during the baseball playoffs in October, the music Fox plays going out and coming back.
Yeah,
they're playing
Fish.
They play the Grateful Dead and they play Fish. But Charlie, why no widespread? I never hear widespread on Fox. What's going on here?
They have. They've played him several times. Every year you'll hear him. I heard something about that guy. I can't remember his name, but he's a big jam band guy, and he's been to all these shows, and so that's kind of his deal. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I wonder if it's the same guy.
Jam band works a lot better for baseball than it does for football. I don't know if jam band music is like real football music, right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Not quite as intense. Not intense enough. All right, what else?
Well, and I don't know about the Brian said earlier, Arch Manning would have had 70 points versus Bama A&M. I don't know about that. I saw him miss a lot of throws, and he, like you were talking about, his throwing motion is a little bit tough to watch sometimes. I wasn't super impressed, but I know it's early, and he's got a long way to go. But
all right, I got a third up here goes to the Miami-Notre Dame game, which I actually thought was the most entertaining game of the weekend. And I like this quarterback Notre Dame has, the C.J. Carr. It looks evasive, accurate. I know he's a freshman, and he's going to get a lot better, I think, as the season goes. I look at that game for Notre Dame. I don't feel the same about them the same way that you do about Alabama and the way that they performed against Florida State. I thought Notre Dame could have won that game just as much as Miami could have and did. So I actually think Notre Dame is going to be pretty good. And when they come into Fayetteville in a few weeks, and by that time they will have played A&M, which is 2 weeks from now, and Purdue. That's going to be a tested team, a real tested team. But those 2 games will be at home for the Fighting Irish. Their next road game is in Fayetteville, and hopefully we make them feel really, really uncomfortable while they're at Razorback Stadium. Third down goes to. Look, I understand the idea of not wanting to play in Little Rock if you're part of the Arkansas football program. I really do get it. It's a home game with a road trip that's thrown into it. But we have to not make up facts that just seem to be facts that you can throw out there to fit the narrative that you want. Sam Pittman's geographical skills deserve a down here. In his press conference on Sunday, or I guess it was Saturday after the game, or maybe it was yesterday, I forget. But he's talking about going to Little Rock and with the challenges that it presents. And we all know those challenges. Well, we also know that Starkville, Mississippi is not closer to Little Rock than Fayetteville is. And he said it is. Don't make up facts that sound like they might be right just to fit a narrative not wanting to play in the capital city. I live in Little Rock. I drive to Fayetteville all the time. It's 2.5 hours. It's 190 miles. I've driven Little Rock to Starkville many, many times. It's 316 miles. It's 4 hours and 40 minutes. It's almost twice the amount of time to get from Starkville to Little Rock than Fayetteville to Little Rock. Let's not make up facts. Get these things right, pretty please. Because all week, this is all we're going to hear. Get it right. Go ahead.
All right. My third up goes to Liverpool Reds. You will never walk alone. Speaking of 3 up, 3 down, 3 games this year, 3 dubs. They spent $600 million in this last portal window. They finally got their guy at the deadline day, Alexander Isak from Newcastle. Speaking of the portal, Phil, I think you might like this. The down goes to, so the way they do it over there is after 3 games, that the portal closes 3 games into a 38-game season, and you have a 2-week international break. So it's like they kind of get you going. Talk about a soft opening, and then they're going on a break, and then they'll be back in a couple weeks.
All right, Dr. Liggett, you're up.
Okay, my last up goes to C.J. Brown for his caught 2 touchdowns, and I thought it was so cool that his father recently passed away, and so on the back of his jersey it says C.S. Brown, and kind of the same thing for Cam Ball, C.C. Ball for his father. I thought that was really cool. Not only did he catch a touchdown, said that was for Pops. But just that the university let him do it. I don't know how liberal they are with allowing you to change your name and stuff like that. But I thought that was a really cool gesture, and thought that was pretty neat. And my final down. So this summer, when we didn't have any sports going, I kind of got into cricket, and so had to have something to watch. And there's cricket on all the time, and so what I kind of realized is I think it'll be really hard for cricket ever to become popular in the United States. And it's a kind of known as the gentleman's game, but they do things that we never do in any of our sports. Like sometimes the players will just walk off the field waiting for the umpire's decision. So instead of waiting for the umpire to say you're out, the guy just kind of concedes, I'm out, and just walks off. Or if a guy is called out or whatever, sometimes the player on the other team will say no and will argue the call against his own team. And the biggest scandal I think that's ever happened in cricket a few years ago, Australia's team got caught with a little piece of sandpaper, and they were kind of scratching the ball a little bit, kind of like sticky stuff or whatever. And anyway, they caught them, and the guys that were involved in it were suspended for like over a year, and like they were blackballed, and like the whole country of Australia is against them. And now when they got back in the games years later, they got booed every time they're out on the field. Like it's a really huge deal when you think about, okay, that's in the major leagues. If you get caught with sticky stuff, it's not that big of a deal.
The idea in the majors, and I think the way that the thing that a lot of folks say in sports, and I think you heard this during Deflategate. I think you heard this during The first scandal with the Patriots film in practice. The idea is everybody's doing it. But I just kind of wonder, you remember the guy, the fisherman, how many years ago that was adding weights to fish to try to...
Oh, yeah.
Is everybody doing that? Is everybody throwing like a 2-pound weight into a bass to ensure that he's the heaviest of the ones that get weighed? I don't think everybody's doing that.
My brother's a pro fisherman, and he said that was like a really, really big deal. Like,
I remember that.
Super mad. Yeah.
It was the only fishing scandal that's ever gotten a lot of publicity that I remember about. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But that was fun.
Yeah.
I think you're right about that too. Well, Dr. Liggett, it's great to have you back here. And these days at River Valley Smile Center, can you tell us about the full arch implants fixed hybrid?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's one of the coolest things we do, and it's becoming more and more popular. So instead of doing dentures, or if you've got your teeth, but you're having lots of problems, and you're thinking you may have to go to something like that. So instead of the traditional dentures, they're actually implants that are placed into your arches, and they're screwed in. It's like bridges that go all the way across. So it's not like a denture that comes in and out. It's screwed in. You don't have to worry about it. Smile looks great, feels normal, feels natural, and you're able to eat and everything just like before. It's so much nicer than traditional dentures, and we're doing them all the time. There are a few offices around that do it, but it's kind of one thing that we're really focusing hard on. So if you have any interest in that, be sure and let us know. Come by and see us, and we'll tell you all about it.
You can also give them a look online at rivervalleysmiles.com. They're available on the phone, 479-646-0706. It's River Valley Smile Center. Doc, take us home.
River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family. Go.
All right. That's Dr. Charlie Liggett back with us next Monday when we actually do this on the day that we usually do. 3 up, 3 down. 877-377-6963 is the Lewis Automotive Hotline, and we are back after this quick break.
Connor, all I'll say is truck, yeah.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
This is halftime.
All right, let's break someone's clavicle on 3. 1, 2, 3. Break someone's clavicle. Hit the field. Let's go. Move it, move it.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
We all plan to be on time, but fender benders, damaged windshields, and slick road quickly disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design personal protection plans that work for you and help keep you on track. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Dad, the driver looks dirty.
You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small.
Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561
or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Roma, Roma, Gaga, ooh la la, what's your bad romance? Roma,
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
I think we got into a Signing C movie, a Travolta movie, because of Swordfish from the week before. Because he didn't think Halle Berry was all that pretty, so we tried to change his mind. I think
neither was
Sissy Spacek.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean,
here's what he watched this weekend. I think
it's the night of the senior prom. The Bates High School gym is alive with excitement. Everybody is there, even Carrie White, the girl no one likes.
Oh, sorry about this incident, Cassie.
It's Carrie.
And everyone makes fun of her.
Yeah, it's a pretty freaky movie. Written by Stephen King. The novel is as scary as it gets. And did you make it through the whole movie, Seymour?
I did.
Did you feel bad for Carrie? Sounds like he was one of the kids making fun of her, Matt.
No,
did you go to the prom that night,
I
too?
felt bad that it happened, yeah. But, I mean, you think she overreacted a little bit?
I don't know what it's like to have a giant pail of pig blood dropped on you when you think you're about to be the prom queen and Travolta's the prom king.
Yeah. Travolta, I would say, was better in Swordfish, but, yeah, that was definitely in his younger days. What was that? One of his first movies?
That would be, if not his first, it's definitely one of the first. I think it's around the time that Welcome Back, Kotter was a big hit. But then, of course, a few years later, I still think this is the greatest line that Travolta's ever had.
Don't call me up.
He hits my hair.
He hits my hair. We got to have him watch Saturday Night Fever at some point so he can understand disco music, Matt. We talk about disco so much. Never gets played here on halftime, but Saturday Night Fever is as disco as it gets.
Never seen either one of those.
I like the beginning of the movie too. The very beginning.
I mean, the very end of the movie is really, really scary as well. So I'm glad you watched it. You made it through it. Could you make it through this top 40 song that Travolta had to hit? It's around the time Carrie came out too.
Hey.
This is called Let Her In.
Something she said has stuck in my head.
I don't know. All I think when I hear that is "Let Me Out" for crying out loud. That was a number 10 hit in like 1975. What are we listening to? but it was Travolta, and it couldn't get away from those eyes and that smile. And Matt, he still has that same smile.
Swagger. I think he has swagoo.
He's got all the swag in the world. Way to go. So, Christian, if you're going to give Carrie a 1 out of 10, where is it?
Man, I gave her a 5. Oh, the movie.
The movie. No, I'm not asking you to rate if Carrie is hot or not. That's the best thing I've heard all day.
Oh my gosh.
I need you to rate her hot or not with a giant pail of pig blood on her. Go ahead. Is she still a 5?
Oh no, she's a 1 then. The movie was great. The movie was, I give it a 9 out of 10.
Let's break. Halftime wraps up hour number 2 in just a moment.
If you see a possum, try to kill it. It's not a pet.
This is halftime.
Hey, this is Chad Warner, product manager for Booyah Bait Company in Fort Smith, Arkansas. The hottest swim jig on the Arkansas River right now is the Booyah Mobster. It was designed by the Muddy Water Mob, a bunch of river rats from Arkansas and Oklahoma, and it's winning tournaments on Dardanelle and Kerr like clockwork. If you're fishing submerged vegetation, water willow, lily pads, you need a Booyah Mobster to reel them in. Available at lurenet.com and tackle stores throughout Arkansas and Oklahoma, the Booyah Mobster.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
End of season savings are yours right now on Kubota hay equipment at Gray Brothers, including the new DM Series disc mowers, or try Kubota's DM Series trail mowers. And for the prettiest bale of hay on the market, try Kubota's BV Series round baler. With Gray Brothers low pricing and great interest rates from Kubota, it's time for your new hay equipment. That's Gray Brothers equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon.
Hey everyone, Josh Earnhardt here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. Do you like doing business with local companies? Did you know that AAA Business Systems is one of only a few truly local office technology providers in Northwest Arkansas? Ask your current technology provider where their corporate office is, and let's keep your money in Northwest Arkansas. Buy local, support local. Call us today at 479-442-4185, and remember, anything else is just a copy.
Do you need closure on your garage? Call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR. Grit is who you can trust.
Artie's Original Bag is back, now with even more full-size sandwiches. Choose any two. The new spicy chicken sandwich, hot ham and cheese, hand-breaded chicken tender wrap, or charbroiled double cheeseburger. Mix and match any two, with fries and a drink, just $6.99. Why settle for junior burgers? Get big savings on full-size goodness in Hardee's Country. Download the app and join my rewards for special offers. These items only, tax not included. Price and participation may vary. See app for terms.
Hey, Hog fans, if you can't be at the game, the next best seat in the house is at Sofa City. They've got this new leather reclining set with heat, massage, surround sound, and even vibration, so you can feel like you're in the middle of all the action. And if you're looking for deals, they've got them. Recliners start at just $298, or you can upgrade your set with a power reclining sofa for only $998. It's all in stock, so you can buy it today and enjoy it tonight. Visit Sofa City near you, Portsmouth, Russellville, Harrison, and Mountain Home. Or see more at sofacityusa.com.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Montag blieben Glauben globen.
Girlies say I'm pretty fly for a white guy. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, cinco, seis.
You know it's kind of hard just to get along today. Our subject isn't cool, but he thinks it anyway. He may not have a clue and he may not have style, but everything he lacks, well, he makes up in denial. Keep it real, but you know it, but you know it. So if you don't wait, just go and come and say, at least you know it's going to be there. The world needs one star. Hey, do the thing.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Want to get over to Twin Peaks in Rogers. Still have a couple days left to take advantage of their fantasy football draft package. Also have football and fireball all throughout the month. The fantasy football kickoff means that you go to Twin Peaks for your fantasy football draft party. $50 bonus card for the commission, additional $5 bonus card for every other drafter. TwinPeaksRestaurant.com/fantasy draft for more information. Brew days are back starting tomorrow, every Wednesday this August, actually this September, celebrating one of the most beloved things, beer. And, of course, you got NFL kickoff this weekend. Beer is going to be $3.99 on Wednesdays all month long at Twin Peaks. And get over to Twin Peaks Thursday to watch Philadelphia start to try to defend that Super Bowl championship against the Dallas Cowboys. It's Twin Peaks in Rogers, 29-degree draft beer always flowing, made from scratch fan favorites, and, of course, their famous scenic views. You can give them a look online at twinpeaksrestaurant.com. Matt Jones, Christian Johnston, here are the Survivor Series standings for halftime for the first week. Matt Jones is 1-0. Mississippi State beats Southern Miss 34-17. The unit is also 1-0. Ole Miss beat Georgia State 63-7. And I am also 1-0 as Kentucky survived Toledo 24-16. If I'm Kentucky, I'm really, really nervous that I threw for 85 yards, 10 of 23 pass, and they did run for 220. But the first points that Kentucky allowed this year, Matt, safety. Calzada sacked in the end zone. Not the way you want to give up your first points of the year. But a win is a win, so we're all winners. And we got to make our picks for the Survivor Series later on in the week. And remember, the rules for halftime Survivor Series means you're not allowed to pick any team twice. So, Matt, you don't get Mississippi State. I don't get Kentucky. Unit can't pick Ole Miss the remainder of the year. And there are no jamborees that you can pick from either. The jamborees in the SEC next week. Georgia hosting Austin Peay. South Carolina hosting South Carolina State. Tennessee's got East Tennessee. And that's it. Not too many jamborees this next week.
Hey, it's excited to be back. I'm a little nervous about when am I going to get to use Kentucky. I almost texted you, Phil, during the Mississippi State Southern Miss game because it was about the second quarter and it was still like a one-score game, and I was like, oh, this might be you might have to bow out early. But yeah, we're all three on the board and we're all three moving forward.
Well, Kentucky gets the Fighting Emus in a couple of weeks. That's Eastern Michigan University.
It could be Christian's turn to pick before me, though. We don't know, right. But yeah.
So already very nervous about this. So we'll have those picks in by Thursday for the halftime SEC Survivor Series, and I know all of you were very, very interested in knowing what that looked like. I was just, you pick Kentucky here, and I would say the Kentucky win over Toledo is the most concerning win for any team in the SEC this week, or maybe A&M against UTSA. Now I know Traylor's got a good thing going there with UTSA. They ran for over 6 yards a carry against the A&M defense, 203 yards rushing, including a 75-yard touchdown. So I wonder if you'd be able to run the ball against A&M. Then again, overreactions to week one is one of our favorite things across the landscape of college football. Our number 3 involves you and us. 877-377-6963 for the Lewis Automotive Hotline and the king of college football talk from Nashville Sports Radio. Bill King joins us in 20 minutes. It's halftime, hour number 3 after this.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Are you an electrician that's looking for a smaller, non-corporate job? Well, I'm here in studio with Sloan Walker of Sloan Electric, starting 40, 45 hours a week, anywhere from $20 to $28 an hour, depending on the experience.
Yeah, that's all correct. We offer competitive pay. We have 6 paid major holidays. I'm working on some other benefits to go with those for my current employees and future employees. Best way to get in contact with me is just give me a phone call or text at 479-461-4302. Sloan Electric. We can power up together.
Less than 2 seconds left on the clock and no timeouts, Peter. I don't know what they're going to do. Down 3 and way out of field goal range. Truly an unlucky state to be in.
This state has plenty of luck. Last year, 8 Arkansans each won $1 million off a lottery ticket.
State as in a state of being, not... Whoa, touchdown Razorbacks. Did you...
This is winning, folks. Every lottery ticket you buy in Arkansas helps fund college scholarships. You could be the next big winner. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. Just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Half-price apps and taps are back at Joe's Grill and Cantina every Arkansas game day. Wear your hog gear and get half-price apps and taps at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Enjoy 10-layer dip, chimney paquitos, the ultimate sampler, and Mexican pizza, all half price during Arkansas games. And all your favorite beers on tap are half price. Half price apps and taps during every Arkansas game. Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, a chance of seeing some scattered showers and thunderstorms, especially as we head towards the afternoon. Our high temperatures today in the low to mid 80s. Isolated showers and storms tonight, and overnight low in the low to mid 60s. And a slight chance of showers and storms across the south on Wednesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grain Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
Fight like hell for the University of Arkansas the entire time that I'm the head coach.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that could respect you. Oh, actually, if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What they were one racer back.
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Hour number 3, 1:01 in the afternoon. Welcome back to halftime. This is ESPN Arkansas. HitThatLine.com and the Hit That Line Now app. I'm Phil Elson. Matt Jones in studio. Ty Richardson's taken over with C-Unit off for the remainder of the day. And we'll be talking with Bill King, Nashville Sports Radio, about 15 minutes from right now. You can get with us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline anytime in this segment, 877-377-6963. Looking through some of the headlines here on ESPN. Micah Parsons' agent has come out and claimed that Parsons' first choice was to still be a Cowboy instead of being traded to the Packers. But what is it? What does that mean now? He's a Cowboy? No, he's not. He's a Packer. So that's all that matters in this case. It's just sort of, it's just. Do you think that's just trying to get back at Jerry a little bit? Because Jerry actually did him a solid now doing the trade here because he ends up the highest paid non-quarterback anyway.
Yeah, I think it's propaganda, what they're all saying right now. I think what he wanted was to be the highest paid defensive end in the world, and that's what he is. I don't think it mattered what team. But, yeah, okay, first love, they draft you. I get all that, but sometimes it's not a thing anymore. And they weren't off by that much, but I don't really buy into it. But I did see this, so North Carolina has the best basketball player to ever play basketball in the world. They have the best defensive player to ever play defense in the football world in Lawrence Taylor. They have the best women's soccer player to ever play in Mia Hamm as well. I was trying to think if they had a baseball or something else, but that's three GOATs right there. Because Phil, we talk about Pittsburgh Panthers and all their players they have in the Hall of Fame and how
you don't expect it.
Three GOATs right there grazing on that North Carolina AstroTurf. Maybe that's why they're still hungry. We got to get that real grass back.
Pretty good. I just looked up a list of great North Carolina baseball players. I don't know if you classify any of them as the greatest of all time. They've had some good ones. Kyle Sager, Andrew Miller, Dustin Ackley, B.J. Surhoff, Brian Roberts. Yeah, I don't know if they haven't had the greatest baseball player of all time. We'll give them the other three sports, though. I'd forgotten LT when
I did
North
too.
Carolina.
I'd
totally forgotten about that. 877-377-6963 Lewis Automotive Hotline. And they have the greatest coach in NFL history.
There
right?
you go.
Do
the
they?
Greatest coach without Tom Brady in NFL history. No, his legacy's so tied to Tom Brady, and I think we glean over that or we wash over that. You had Bountygate, you had Spygate, you had multiple accusations of cheating throughout his entire career up there. And when Bill Belichick doesn't have Tom Brady as his quarterback, he's a pedestrian coach. Very pedestrian.
Well, let's just kind of go back and look at some of the quarterbacks that he was working with. So I went back. I mean, I was trying to see if he got blown out in his first game as an NFL head coach when I think it was 1991 with Cleveland.
He actually was winning some games there at Cleveland. I think Saban was on that staff.
Yeah. So in 91, they lost their first game of the season to Dallas. 26-14, but then picked up a win the very next week against New England. And who do you have on that team that year?
Was that Bernie Kosar?
Well, 91. I'm not sure if that was still Kosar time in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Let's see here. It was Bernie Kosar time. That's right. Bernie Kosar to Vinny Testaverde to heck. I mean, I think it was Testaverde was the quarterback the last time he was there. And then wasn't a head coach again until New England, and there was Bledsoe, but of course Bledsoe got hurt, and then it's Brady. After Brady, there's the year with Matt Castle, they won 10 games with no playoffs, and then there's there's Cam Newton, and then there's Drake May, and now there's whoever was a quarterback for North Carolina that didn't look very good.
They put him on the clock, Phil. They said it's been over 2 hours and 7 minutes since North Carolina has completed a pass. You're like, whoa.
That's correct. It was Max Johnson. That's right. I forgot. Wait a minute. That is the tall lefty that I remember Arkansas playing against with A&M. And he looked a lot better at A&M, didn't he?
Well, did you see his shark bite on his leg? It's like you got to see this picture it's kind of like the Alex Smith thing where they didn't think he would ever even walk again.
Is it the real shark bite?
No, you gotta.
I gotta take a look at it. So the photos from the sidelines and what it means, like somebody listening on the show during 3 Up, 3 Down, and they've not looked at the photos of Ryan Day and think, what is Phil getting into here about Ryan Day and the pierced nipple? There were some folks that texted in. It was, I didn't like Sam Pittman pointing out incorrectly that Starkville is closer to Little Rock than Fayetteville is to Little Rock. A couple people understood from what he was saying that it's closer from Starkville to Little Rock than it is Starkville to Fayetteville. Who cares? Who cares in this case? Just there's no reason to point this stuff out. Even if that's what he meant, even if he meant that it's closer for Mississippi State to travel to Little Rock, or even if he meant for Arkansas State that it's closer for them. What is it, about an hour? More than an hour. It's more like an hour and a half, 2 hours. It's going to be 30-minute difference. There's a 30-minute difference. Those 30 minutes do not matter at all. Not at all. And I get it. I really get it. You don't like playing in Little Rock. You don't want to play in Little Rock anymore. You're not the only coach that hasn't wanted to play this game or any of these games in Little Rock. I don't expect you to come out and say it. And he does pay, I don't think he's insulting Little Rock or anything, but he's going to be asked about it. And this I think is more of an answer about playing in Little Rock than the other ones.
I don't really have a lot of say-so in that. The game's been over there. History, I still think history of the power of the Hogs in our state is, a bunch of it is because we would take the team over to Little Rock. There were certainly different times then, less hotels, less television, where the Hogs could go over there and people could drive up and see the Hogs play and turn around and go home. Obviously, it didn't work out so much, driving from Northwest Arkansas over there, but they could still do it. Obviously, the stadium was much better than the one we had here in those days. So there's a lot of things have changed. Television's changed. Guys, it's changed everything in college football. So I don't know what the advantage of it is going over there, except for the passion of the state for the Hogs. Going over there, I think, certainly continues that in the state of Arkansas.
I'll say it for Sam because he doesn't want to say it. There is no advantage to playing in Little Rock now. Because so many of the games that get set in Little Rock, and look, this is the last one on the schedule. It'll have much better of an atmosphere than playing UAPB or playing Western Carolina or just about anybody else that's not an SEC team because it's Arkansas State. But there is no advantage to playing in Little Rock anymore. And he went through the whole list of reasons why that game used to matter in a way where you wanted to play it. It's a much different era of college football. I totally get it. Let's just not make up the facts about proximity to the city and act like that's supposed to be a reason why you don't need to play here anymore. Just don't play there anymore. We know the reasons why. So, is this going to be the last game in Little Rock? I think it will be for a long, long time. You'd appreciate the idea that the governor can force some things in this. I don't think that that's going to happen. I know Governor Sanders is from Little Rock. I don't think that that's going to have anything to do with it. This will end up being, and I think if it is the last one, it's the right way to go out. Have the two, major FBS playing schools in this state finally get it on in the capital city, and then that's going to be it. This may end up being the last Arkansas State game, too. How often are they going to want to go to Fayetteville and not get a home game in return?
Does Arkansas State plant their flag in Little Rock and make that one of their home stadiums? Like, does UCA, I know it's close by. Is there still a use for that to be some team's home stadium?
Well, and I think the reason is also the same idea as why Arkansas wouldn't want to play there. Is they put so much money into the stadium, comparatively. I don't know if all Arkansas State games, though, are televised or streamed. I was looking at their schedule, and even on the Arkansas schedule, when it's streamed only and it's ESPN Plus, it'll say ESPN Plus. There are some games in the Sun Belt that look like they're not streamed, which I don't believe can actually be the case in this day and age. But no, I don't think A-State will try to plant. I don't think anybody's going to try to plant a flag in Little Rock. UALR is never getting a football program. It's going to end up being a capital city without a major football program that ever plays here. A-State's not going to play here on an annual basis. Maybe if they schedule UCA, but they've scheduled them before, and that game's been up in Jonesboro.
I know the Little Rock Rangers, it's like a third-tier soccer team, but they're professional. They play their games there. Maybe you kind of transition to a different type of football.
And so much of it has to do with the amount of games that you play, but you never hear this kind of stuff from the basketball program. They talk like they look forward to the trip, that the atmosphere means something, that the building That it feels different. You get the same thing from baseball, and they never play some great team at Dickie Stevens. But baseball's a great equalizer. You never know what's going to happen, and still sell it out to the tune of 10,000 people. And that atmosphere at Simmons Bank Arena is outstanding. That's so much fun to go to those games. Those programs, all they do is talk positively about those trips. 100% positively about it. You don't hear that from football. And again, I get the reasons why. That's another reason why I guess I'm looking forward to not having any games scheduled in Little Rock anymore, so you don't have to hear that from the football program anymore. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive hotline. Did you have a chance to get over to Roback.com? Roback.com has very special Razorback gear that's designed just for Arkansas fans on the University of Arkansas Game Day collection at Roback.com. Hoodies, polos, Q-zips, and much more with the Razorback logos on them. You can get 20% off your first order using the code RUSH25 at checkout. It's RHOBACK.com, Roback.com, where action meets comfort. Bill King from Nashville Sports Radio joining Halftime right after this break.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Lewis Guarantee.
Tommy, when's the last time you've had breast milk?
Sports to the wacky, weird, and wonderful. Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to MyBookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's where bettors win together, because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Got a little jingle.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782.
963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend, Matt Jones.
Efforting Bill King. We'll get with the king of college football talk momentarily here on Halftime. Definitely want to get his thoughts on the opening weekend in college football. The playing portion of the season is officially here, and that's good to feel. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive. I was only saying that number because I was texting to Bill at that moment, reminding him to call us. And it's a little difficult sometimes if you're saying other things and typing in numbers to actually type in the proper numbers. So I anticipate Ty, he'll be calling sometime soon. So there's a lot to get to as far as this first weekend of college football is concerned.
Who won week one, Phil? You know, last year he's kind of like, hey, this team, it looked like they win, and I know you can't. It doesn't matter. Or was it considered week 0? But I think Florida State had the best win. I think LSU's kind of like they're on the podium. If you're to say teams that won week 1, Florida State, LSU, definitely two big winners. What about Auburn beating Baylor? I don't think much of Baylor, but, you know, Auburn's kind of, everything they had going. But my vote would be Florida State and LSU.
Since you're going with those teams, I'm going to go with Miami. I was pretty impressed with Carson Beck last night. Considering what he went through last year at Georgia and the injury that he suffered, that's an impressive win, and it's over a good Notre Dame defense too. We were a little surprised they didn't run Jeremiah Love too much.
I'm telling you, Phil, we played the Seattle Seahawks there in Jacksonville week 1, and you could just see the spirit leave their body when they were down there in that humidity. Some of these teams that aren't used to that humidity, practicing up north, and then all of a sudden you get down there and you just don't have it in your legs. You could see it. That Seattle team, we beat them. They ended up going to the Super Bowl that year. I think they lost to Pittsburgh in the Super Bowl.
Well, he's maybe the best running back in the country, and I'm watching this first drive. He didn't get a touch, and that kind of was the thing for a good chunk of the game. I mean, 10 carries. I know that the other guy, Price, is really good. I'll say this: those I'd be a little nervous about those two running backs coming into Fayetteville against the Arkansas defensive line that Sam is talking about. They need to be more productive, and if you're not productive, meaning making a lot of tackles against Alabama A&M, well, what does that mean for a game against Notre Dame that probably will be able, or they should be able, to run the ball? Here is what Sam said post-game on Saturday.
Well, we just didn't have any production. When you look at it and you look at tackles, and Vaughn may have had the most tackles on the D line. We need more production. When you look at there and you look at the linebackers, we're not playing downhill. We've got to do some things. If that's what it's going to be, we've got to do some things defensively that are moving them. We've got to do some more things because we do have guys that can run in there, but they've got to play better. They've got to get in the right gaps. That's the simplest answer. Be where you're supposed to be.
Notre Dame only gets 3.5 yards per carry. C.J. Carr is running around a little bit and looked like a little trouble protecting him at times. We've got Bill King with us now from Nashville Sports Radio on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Bill, Matt and I were just kicking around. We thought was the best, like who won week one, the team that had the most impressive win. I picked Miami. I think Matt chose Florida State. When you watch all these games this weekend, who looked the most impressive to you?
LSU. I mean, in my mind, the task that they took on going to a Clemson team that I think is a contender, certainly favored at the moment to win the league. And when they finally are playing real defense at LSU, we know we're getting out of the quarterback, Nussmeier, and the receivers. That was the quality win in my mind of the weekend.
Who's struggling more right now? Who are you selling stock on? Alabama or Texas?
Well, I sold stock on Alabama before the game when their stock price would have been plummeting now. So we hang on to it. It's not worth it to sell right now. I'd sell it prior. I think Texas is fine. I'm still not. Manning is the star. Says I haven't seen any start of his game yet. But no, Alabama has got a huge problem. The vibe around the team, around that football program is incredibly soft. I compared it on Twitter to right after 2009. That Texas kind of soft lasted for a long time until more recently with Sark. They've got a culture problem. They've got a softness problem. Their defense is not physical at all. They don't really run the football. The quarterback, he's okay. Offensive line, the left tackle is 50 pounds overweight. A lot of issues.
Hey, Bill, it sounds like the connection's a little bit spotty. Ty, can you try to see if we might be able to, reconnect with Bill? Because every second word is blipping, so it doesn't quite sound very right. We'll work on getting Bill back here because, that's the thing about watching Alabama is to see them get pushed around like that. I don't remember, even in losses under Saban, they didn't get pushed around, right? And that happened last year against Michigan. Now it's happened in game one against the Florida State team that was pushed around all season last year. So I wouldn't blame Alabama fans and even the administration from wondering what the heck is going on here.
Last game of week one, Phil, when we're talking about teams that won, what about TCU? Do you think do you give TCU a little bit that they won the? I mean, that was the last primetime game of week one, and talking about pushing a team around. I mean, they blew the doors off.
Well, because nobody would have known who the opponent is for Belichick's first game, right? I mean, it's all about Belichick. It's all about Jordan Hudson. It's all about North Carolina, and TCU's an afterthought.
Getting Gold Digger copyrighted.
That's right. We got Bill back here. Bill, TCU and North Carolina from last night. And it's like, even if you think that North Carolina is going to lose, you wouldn't have seen that one coming. And it makes you think that Belichick's not made for the college game right now. But then again, it's like, go ahead and overreact to week one, right?
It looks like Urban Meyer in Jacksonville is what it looks like. Now, you're right. It's one game. But you get humiliated in that one game at home. And TCU's a good team, so I want to make sure I apply the proper credit there, but it looks like a colossal mess is what it looks like.
Hey, what's going on with Malachi Hughes at Oregon? I thought he was the number one running back transfer portal guy in all of college football. 1 carry, 4 yards.
Well, in the breaking a new quarterback, Dante Moore as well. I'm not sure. I noticed that, but I'm not sure what the issue was there with him. It couldn't be the game plan, I wouldn't think.
Yeah, week one, you're not really too worried about it. I kind of thought Taylon Green at Arkansas, Alabama A&M week one. Let cream rise to the top. I thought Taylon Green was the best player on the field Saturday.
Oh, he's outstanding. When he's clicking right, they've got an outstanding offensive coordinator, Coach Petrino. He might be, if we're just picking out a category, in Arkansas, he's not overlooked or underrated, but I think outside looking in, he's very underrated. I don't think a lot of people, when they talk about the quarterbacks of the league, nobody mentions him. And he's a problem. He's a threat. He's a dual threat.
Why do you think nobody mentions him, Bill? Because we've all thought this ourselves. And on some shows, they'll be like, well, if he was the quarterback at Alabama, they'd all be talking about him. When it's understood, if you're probably the quarterback at Alabama, you probably didn't finish 6-6. That might have something to do with people talking about you.
Yeah, and you've got the Nussmeier, you've got Lagway, you have Sellers, you've got that group. And they're always going to be the ones you mention regarding 2025 first. But there's other good quarterbacks in the league. The lefty Austin Simmons at Ole Miss, I think, is going to be outstanding. Now, they played Georgia State. There wasn't much competition there. But there's another one. I thought Joey Aguilar played well for Tennessee. They looked like they were clicking for the first time in a couple of years offensively. But I wouldn't worry about it. Matter of fact, if I'm Green, I keep it that way.
What about
We'll
Arnold
beat
at
people
Auburn?
that way.
Jackson Arnold at Auburn.
Well, yeah, he did have a good game. And I don't think that the plan was to run him like Matt Jones out there, but it worked, right? It worked, and he's a good athlete. I'll tell you what his game is like. It struck me when he's playing well is Haynes King from A&M, but last 2 years at Georgia Tech. They are very similar quarterbacks to me.
What is I'm looking forward to next week and kind of looking at the slate of week 2. Not a lot of great games like there was in week 1, but I'm one that caught my eye. Michigan at Oklahoma. How do you see that one going early? It's an early game. Which team is this game more important to?
Oh boy. That's a tough one, the last part there, because Venables needs a good year. But John Mateer, the quarterback, had a very good debut. They've got the coordinator that they brought over from Washington State, Ben Arbuckle, who, if you've ever looked this guy's story up, wasn't that long ago he was selling DoorDash. And now he's making 7 figures as a coordinator and a hotshot wonder boy. That looks like they're healthier than they were a year ago, but that looks like it's working. I think it's important for both, but I don't think Venables needs to lose that game at home. That would be a little bit more of a blow.
Bill, this was the first week of the brand new era of college football. And, it's not like on our radio broadcast on Saturday, we didn't bring up NIL. We mentioned guys that transferred in, but the transfer portal wasn't the topic. The house settlement wasn't a topic. Roster counters wasn't a topic, any of that kind of stuff. Did it feel like college football? I mean, did it really feel like the sport that you have fallen in love with and paid so close attention to for all these years?
I think so. When I'm watching the games, I'm not thinking about overpriced quarterbacks and how much players are getting and how selfish, how the Alabama roster looks spoiled. I guess I thought some of that when I watched Alabama play, but I still enjoy it. I don't know what it's going to take to run us off, but so far they haven't been able to run us off. I think they tried awful hard.
Well, good. We don't want you run off, Bill, because you're great, and we appreciate you joining us here and look forward to having you next Tuesday, okay?
All right, guys. Thank you.
Bill King, Nashville Sports Radio, joining us every Tuesday during the playing portion and the non-playing portion season of Halftime. So we can open up the Lewis Automotive Hotline for the remainder of the show here. It's 877-377-6963. Hey, make sure that if you're getting out on the lake anytime soon that you've got the Booyah Mobster with you, designed by the Muddy Water Mob in Arkansas and Oklahoma, winning all the tournaments on the lake. So if you're fishing submerged or matted grass, you need a Booyah Mobster to reel them in. Find it at learnnet.com and tackle stores all over our listening audience. It's the Booyah Mobster. Meanwhile, the Lewis Automotive Hotline is 877-377-6963, and we're back for the home stretch right after this.
This is Halftime.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more, 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
It's the all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet at Golden Corral. Enjoy the endless breakfast buffet with carved ham, tender pork chops, pancakes, French toast, made-to-order eggs and omelets, and, of course, the biscuits and gravy. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. And from 8 to 9:30, seniors get all this and a drink for $10.29. Golden Corral, 1801 South Waldron, Fort Smith. Order online at goldencorral.com for curbside pickup or delivery. Golden Corral, the only one for everyone.
Looking for the perfect gift that's personal and powerful? The Solid Rock has you covered. From custom laser-engraved cutting boards and coasters to travel mugs and keepsakes. Each piece is made with care and personalized just for your special occasion, whether it's a wedding, birthday, anniversary, or just because. They help you give gifts that inspire, engraved with names, scriptures, or messages that honor Christ. Shop the Solid Rock, located next to Sam's Club on South 74th and Fort Smith. The Solid Rock, serving the River Valley for over 49 years.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. The future of office printing is here with Xerox's Connect Key technology and cloud connectivity. Xerox offers seamless integration, top-notch security, and unmatched efficiency to help your business stay ahead. Don't miss out. Call us today at 783-6600 and ask about our special offer for a free Xerox color printer with many Xerox models. Dixie Digital Imaging, leading the way in office technology.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more, 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Home stretch of halftime as we take you up to 2 o'clock, and Ruskin and Zach can have you from there. A lot of folks really impressed with Omega Blake in Arkansas' season debut against Alabama A&M, the former Charlotte 49er. 7 catches on 8 targets, 121 yards. They really targeted him near the end of the first half. I think on that final drive, 5 targets. There was a penalty thrown on a defender against him once. There was a penalty where he scored a touchdown, but Carmona was called for holding, and then he caught the other 3 balls. And they were kind of asked, Omega was asked afterwards about working with Taylon Green and what it's been like for him. I love this answer.
It just goes back to us, training and getting the extra reps out to practice and, just meeting and watching film. And, like I said, just having his back and knowing he got mine. He going to make certain things, and I just feel like I got to make it correct. So, we don't hear Coach Petrino's mouth at the end of the day. So that's really all it is.
Instead of saying, if Taylon's not throwing it to the right person or this and that he's going to make it right, and trying to avoid hearing Bobby Petrino get after them at the end of practice. I guess that's always a goal for practice, right?
I know that Omega Blake passes every single thing in the eye test, like the way his body looks, the way he moves, and I get it. It's how many of those guys can play SEC football? 0. So let's don't overhype or buy too much into to whooping up on Alabama A&M, but when you saw him move, you saw him catch the ball and what he wanted to do afterwards, the aggressiveness he had running the ball. Some of these receivers feel it's the weirdest thing. As soon as they catch the ball, it's like their feet won't work and they fall down. Like there's guys like this, like, oh, as soon as they get, not him. He's looking to make a play, extend a play, make it explosive.
You almost feel like you got to any sort of analysis with this game, you got to throw in the equalizer of it's Alabama A&M, so who knows if this means much, and you're right about that. But I love that 358 yards passing from Arkansas quarterbacks on Saturday, and they fully split it right down the middle between yards gained in the air and yards after catch. Yards in the air, they gained 179. Yards after catch, 179. And this is the thing that was missing last year, was the ability to catch and then run with it afterwards. It was a little more of it this time, but Matt, you're absolutely right. We'll see what happens against Arkansas State in terms of being able to break free. Like what you saw from C.J. Brown, and more than anything, it's just good to know that he's feeling good about things after the passing of his father, and was, it sounds like the team has really been able to back him up, and Coach Pittman at the same time, and they did share a moment after both touchdowns, and here is CJ on those moments.
Coach Pittman was there through, every step of the way with my father. He almost had to force me to go see my father because I know my dad wanted me to be at practice, like always. If anyone knew my dad, he wanted me to be at practice. So, Coach Pittman pulled me aside, when it was all going on and told me that I need to go and they're going to take me this afternoon, you know what I'm saying? So that moment we shared, he just hugged me and I told him I'm doing it for my pops. And he was like, you are. So that was all that was.
Well, got in the end zone twice, Matt. Is the only Razorback to do it out of 7 touchdowns scored.
Being a head coach is a calling. I don't care if you're a junior high head coach and you got to go pick up kids for practice or you're coaching on the top level and you're being a mentor. You're teaching kids how to become. You're teaching young kids how to become young men and doing things the right way. Kudos to Coach Pittman. Kudos to all those coaches that go out there and pick up kids and bring them to practice and take them home. And it's not. Sometimes coaching isn't easy. And I know you don't get into it for the money. It's definitely a calling. And there's a lot of good coaches out there that are doing it the right way.
So against probably what I would expect is a better team, I guess I've got to brush up on my FCS football, but my understanding is Southeast Missouri may be a better team than Alabama A&M. Arkansas State last week rolls up almost 500 yards of total offense. They averaged 4 yards a carry. They completed 26 passes on 32 attempts, 345 yards. Held the ball for 30 minutes. Didn't turn it over. I mean, it's a good offensive team that's coming into Little Rock, Matt, and the Arkansas defense is still, I think they're going to score points, and I understand they didn't allow much after that first drive, but that first drive against the Bulldogs still happened, and it looked easy. In fact, that was the easiest drive for either team all game long.
Read your keys and react. It looked like they were hesitant a little bit at times, like we didn't know if there was emotion or whatever was going on. It just seemed like we were just hesitating just a second. Read your keys and react, but know how to run fit. And then the D-line, that's one of the first things I wrote, and it's the first drive, but is this team big and physical enough? That's what we heard about, that they're bigger on the outside. I liked that we flashed some speed a little bit, but again, you know who it's with. But I was a little nervous on the eye test alone that this D-line, this front, really isn't going to be that stout. So they're going to have to do some things. You know, they're going to have to slant blitz, fire zone blitz, run blitz, take some chances where get a turnover here and there. That's more, you know, they might score, but if you can get the Arkansas offense 2 extra possessions a game, man, I like the analytics of that. I like our numbers saying that we get 2 more offensive possessions than the other team.
Well, think about what the coaches were talking about in the lead up to the season in terms of the speed and size of the defensive units you talked about. They never talked about that from the defensive line. It was always about the linebackers and the secondary, which if you're talking about doing things and accentuating your positives, now there's a risk that goes along with this, but Matt, I think there's personnel to do these kinds of things. You know, and you don't have to do that very much against an Alabama A&M. You're not going to show your complex defensive plays against Alabama A&M, and maybe you do a little bit against Arkansas State, but it just seems that the personnel in terms of linebackers and secondary is the right kind of personnel and the right kind of speed and size, where if you got to do some things, like you're saying, I think they can do it.
But
then again, we got to see him up against State probably.
I don't know. You don't know yet. There was a couple guys. Taylor Green, I thought was the best on the field. Omega Blake flashed. I like that receiver from Florida State. I think Quincy Rhodes got a sack. But yeah, they just continue to get better. There's no secret. Every football coach in the history of football will tell you this. The most improvement you're going to make is weeks 1 through 3. 1, 2, 3, 3 games. You start figuring out, hey, what can this guy do? How can I trust this player? And it doesn't mean you don't improve as the season goes on and button your stuff up. But as far as understanding your team, I think we will find out more about this team against Arkansas State this Saturday.
I heard Saban talking about that over the weekend on ESPN, and I'm thinking – it's exactly what every Alabama fan is hoping. Who do they get next? You want to talk about bad season
desire
and
want to is different.
Yes.
You talk a couple years ago when Arkansas was getting smoked at home against Auburn and Missouri, and just didn't even look like they wanted. That's what I saw some of there about that Alabama.
Isn't that amazing? You should never see that in August or September.
No, what are we doing?
You think there'd be guys that would never find the field again if it was a Nick Saban coach team.
If I'm gonna get my head smashed in, I'm gonna at least play a player that's gonna do it right and wants to be out there. If you don't want to play for us, then come sit over here by me.
Saban, the GOAT in college history, maybe. Now, people have all their ideas about whether Bill Belichick is the GOAT in pro football history. We have somebody texting in, Josh, pointing out the same thing you did earlier about he's never won a Super Bowl. Heck, I mean, how many playoff games has Belichick won without Tom Brady as the quarterback? Even going back to the Browns, none, maybe one.
That's I think Andy Reid's making a strong case to be on that Mount Rushmore of NFL coaches.
I'm still going to tell you, we pass up Joe Gibbs. If you look, Terry Bradshaw is 77 years old today. Happy birthday, Terry Bradshaw. Chuck Noll never won a Super Bowl or made one without Terry Bradshaw. It's the same with Belichick and Brady. It's the same with, I know Danny White got to the Super Bowl with the Cowboys. Staubach was the only one to win one with Landry. Shanahan, John Elway.
Shanahan, yeah.
John Elway, there you
go.
go.
Bill Walsh is another one I think
Montana.
That's very inventive.
But I don't think he won a Super Bowl without Montana. I'm not trying to take away from these guys. I mean, coach-quarterback relationships that last forever, there's something to be said about that. Joe Gibbs, 3 Super Bowl championships, 3 different quarterbacks. I don't know anybody else that's ever pulled that off. I think sometimes we sleep on Joe Gibbs. Who was it? It was Doug Williams, Mark Rippon, and Theismann, right? Were the quarterbacks that he won a Super Bowl with.
No, who'd you say the first one was? Doug Johnson?
Doug Williams.
Doug Williams, you got it. You're right.
None of them are in Canton. I mean, Theismann was good. He's not in Canton. None of them were in Canton. I think, do we sleep on Joe Gibbs as a potential GOAT in pro football history? Probably do a little bit. Yeah, Bradshaw. And he and Noel, like they didn't see eye to eye very much. It's the same with Brady and Belichick, it seemed, certainly by the end of it. You want to take advantage, you want to take take all the claim for winning it, and Brady ends up on top at the very end, that's for sure. Breaking in a moment to wrap things up. Our phone number is the Lewis Automotive Hotline. It's 877-377-6963. If you're looking for a pleasant and productive experience from your bank, one that puts you first, you'll always find that at your community bank in Northwest Arkansas, Sterling Bank. Top-notch customer service. Every transaction feels personal because the people at Sterling Bank are not just your bankers, they are your friends and your neighbors, committed to living and remaining in Northwest Arkansas. The people, businesses, and organizations love all about Sterling Bank. They have a passion for growth and progress. It fuels everything they do. They're local and friendly. It's Sterling Bank in Fayetteville, Rogers, or Bentonville. Online at sterbank.bank. Sterling Bank is invested in you and committed to Northwest Arkansas. We're back in a moment. We'll wrap up halftime right after this.
This is Halftime.
The Newmeyer family is a mainstay in Fort Smith, and their newest restaurant, the Whippoorwill, has so much to offer. Friday night catfish, good. Tuesday nights, kids 10 and under eat free with an adult meal purchase. Don't forget about Whippoorwill for every Hogs game with their massive projection screen. For catering options, call 479-769-2095. Newmeyer's Whippoorwill Restaurant, now a part of the Newmeyer family.
Harry Robinson Salasol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salasol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salasol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salasol.
Football, fantasy drafts, new school supplies. It's my favorite time of year. I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. Born and raised in the River Valley, I know how crazy traffic can get this time of year. As kids head back to class, remember to use caution at crosswalks and in school zones. But not all accidents can be avoided. If you or your loved one is injured in a car wreck, call today. 479-769-1505. No win, no fee. Mock Legal Solutions. Real advice, reasonable price.
This is Pastor Brad Luter with Grand Avenue Baptist Church. For all of our HVAC and plumbing needs, we call 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
That's Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning for all of your heating, cooling, plumbing, and drain cleaning needs and great York Home products. It's just one number you need to know, 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
When a business has been around more than 65 years, you know they're doing something right. Hey, Ty Richardson for Johnny's Transmission. They've been trusted in Fort Smith and the River Valley since 1959. Located at 1212 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith, they strive to make every customer's experience outstanding and want your vehicle to be in the best condition for the road ahead. Check out their website, johnnystransmissionfs.com, and find them on Facebook. Johnny's Transmission, family owned and operated since 1959.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked.
cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
And even just the idea of North Carolina blown out in his first game. Well, I mean, there's videos here of Jordan Hudson standing right next to Belichick during the game, and she is talking to him right during the game. Looks like it's in the middle of a timeout, and I just don't know. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that before. You ever have a coach talking to a significant other standing there on the sideline with him during the game?
Hey, you know,
it's a weird look.
I don't know how you define love. I don't know if that's what that is, but man,
it's wild out there on the frontier.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems a little strange.
It's been strange from the start with the two of them. From the very start, it isn't about to get any more normal. Never. So, oh boy. Here's something that's, I guess, would you say this is the new normal, or is this still an outlier? TJ Finley. You remember TJ Finley? Didn't he play against Arkansas for LSU in 2020? He has transferred again, even using the word commitment. He lost the quarterback battle at Tulane over the last month, and I guess he can still transfer as a graduate now and play for another team. So he is transferred to Georgia State.
The portal's not closed. It's just like the Premier League right there. I like it. 3 games in, let's go get it.
That's as a graduate, you can transfer any time. The portal doesn't mean anything to you. So he's been to LSU, Auburn, Texas State, Western Kentucky last year, Tulane, where he lost the quarterback job, and Georgia State.
So he's
in 6 years.
In Mario World where you get the whistle and you can go to any level you want.
That's right.
Once you graduate, you have the whistle. I dig it.
Here's a level that he'll never be at, Matt. The NFL. That ain't going to happen. 6 schools in 6 years. So I have fought back sometimes, or at least pushed back against some who say, well, they're not even students anymore. And I do know for a fact that most of these student athletes are students, too. Miguel Mitchell is an SEC scholar athlete. He even talked about it on the Sam Pittman show earlier last week, that was something his parents instilled in him from the very start. If you're transferring to 6 schools in 6 years, I'm sorry, I can't refer to you as a student athlete. He goes to Tulane. Was there even a class? Was there even one class that he took at Tulane University? That's called being a mercenary. It's like being a pro. So that's more like NFL than anybody else. Well, it's been good to be back on halftime for that's right. Woo, we got our playing portion season, man. It feels really, really good. Good to be back here. Tomorrow on a Wednesday, Clay Henry rejoins the show. We'll have him for a couple of hours. Also talking with Grant Hall and anything else that we can dream up here. Ruskin and Zach are coming up in just a few moments. And I guess, what do you got? You got a couple of players that usually 4 Arkansas players should be talking to the media later today. 2 defensive, 2 on the offensive side. And then Sam Pittman live tomorrow. So, yeah, our football season has gotten here. We definitely did some overreacting to the first game. I think it's easier to overreact to an Arkansas-Alabama A&M game than it is to Texas-Ohio State, don't you? Yeah, so by next week, the reactions will just be cooked perfectly. They'll be in the oven as long as they need it to be. Thanks for tuning in today. Great to be back. We'll do it all again tomorrow. For Matt Jones, for Christian Johnston, for Ty Richardson, too, since he was there for an hour, Bill King, and Charlie Liggett, and Alyssa Orange. That's everybody we had on Halftime today. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Phil. Get up, get out, and get better.
The Big Jelco Outdoor Summer Clearance Sale is going on now. Summer clothing by Ariat